Kill Sector present. All that glitters is gold. Pharaoh's Sobek Hotep, Doppelganger, and Anarchy Elephant have found sanctuary within the walls of Smooth City. This recently constructed utopia exists outside of the known universe, and only the residents are aware of its location. Every citizen works together in order to redeem each other from their own dark past. Peace at last. Struggle is inevitable, but nothing shall last forever. Within the walls of Smooth City, we find our trio trying to live out their new life. I would like to go around to each player and maybe go into a little bit of what kind of a life you want to lead for yourself. Parts of the city you might want to take part in, different careers, etc. Like, what would you like to do to kind of make something of yourself now?
Well, Doppelganger, they think that they're a big fashion designer. It's kind of a world they're created in their own head because they're currently walking around in a burlap sack with cheese puffs hot glued to it. To make money, I don't know what they're doing. They're just doing odd jobs, and I think the people of the city take pity on them and just kind of let them panhandle without them really knowing. But yeah, we think that we're amazing fashion designers.
All right, so Doppelganger is definitely doing everything they can to put their best foot forward, strut down that runway, even though it might be an alley, and really show off this new fashion trend. The other residents of the city also seem to have at least some kind of a dark past, some kind of involvement with either dark forces or deeds that they wish to stray away from. There seems to be a reasonable level of notice to what you're doing, possibly more in what would be a more middle ground city. You do notice specifically there seems to be some kind of a cyborg that seems to like what you're putting down as he begins to approach you from the shadows. Seems as though he has a large mechanical jaw. Upon closer observation, it looks like his trachea exists on the outside of his body, also along with his digestive system, enhanced with multiple cybernetics. He's wearing a nice, what would be like a nice button-down shirt you'd wear at a yacht club, but completely unbuttoned, showing off a bit of his external cybernetics. Hey, you've definitely got a good look about you. What do you call this trend?
You look really cool, too. We might have to take advantage of that. This is cheese couture. Not couture. Couture.
Ah, definitely like the sound of that. Well, we don't really have too much of an established fashion around here. The best we can do is walk around and strut our stuff. Shake what the great heavens above gave you. Oh yeah, sprinkle some down on that ice cream cone. So, I'm starting up a little bit of a club here. If you want to get some people in, we're speaking to a few people all around the area. We can only interact with each other, the way we're being treated. But this is definitely something tasty. Oh, are they edible? Can I eat these?
We eat them all the time. There might be a little glue on them, but it just adds for texture and deliciousness. We even have some paper to share if you'd like.
That sounds lovely. I mean, I've got the lead belly. I can put anything in there. Like a vulture.
Of this club, the twins don't ask any questions. They do nothing. They turn sideways, and they both extend a hand out to the cyborg and say, "We're in."
All right, sounds good. I would say, do you have any friends? Do you have any compatriots? Allies?
My little mini dad and his husband, the elephant, will come along.
Great! Mini Dad. I would say bring whatever you can. We're still a very new colony. We don't have an established police force, security, chiefs, anything of the like. It's the Wild West out here, sister. And the best thing that we can do is bring as many people as we can and throw as many ideas into the melting pot as possible. But yeah, we'd greatly appreciate it.
She kind of shivers and says, no police, no police.
Oh, none. We are gonna completely handle ourselves out here. Actually, you seem new. Why don't you bring your friends along, and maybe I can talk a little history of this place, because from the looks of you, you guys just got, like, teleported in or something, huh?
We're gonna go, got it, and just start skittering off. Immediately going to find the Pharaoh and Anarchy Elephant.
Iron Tooth bids you farewell!
Bye!
Look at him go! All right, so we will now pick up with you running back to the others. I will say you. I would imagine you would have found somewhere to reside in. You may go into maybe what that residence looks like. The party now has the floor.
I think the Pharaoh probably would have drummed that up.
The Pharaoh has been creating what he thinks is an underground crime syndicate because he doesn't want to work, but he just wants all the money and all the stuff. So he has employed all the cats in the town to create the Witty Kitty crew, and they steal and resell like bits of yarn and baubles that they find on the ground. Like, oh, sweet bottle caps. I mean, we can do some stuff with bottle caps, That's pretty much what he's been doing. He hasn't been hanging out with the other two too much. He's been trying to get his enterprise off the ground. So trying to find him might be a little hard unless you put out word that you were looking for him. He's got ears everywhere.
So how about we have a little interaction with the Pharaoh then? The Pharaoh off dealing with this kitty syndicate. All right, so maybe would you like to describe where your office is or wherever you're residing, and I can have someone come knocking on the door?
Yeah, he's behind an Italian restaurant, pretty much, or some kind of... And it's made out of, like, trash cans. He hasn't gotten very far with the syndicate yet, so they're still working on getting a good place. But I like to think of it like it's got picket, like wooden fences around it. It's got an old trash can that has a back that's busted out, and it goes into like a little 4x4 little area for them to hide in.
All right, a nice back alley section. Something out of sight, out of mind of others. Well, you can uprise your empire. So from the outside, you hear a little bit of a scratching knock at the door. There is a knock, but it is prefaced by the sound of a scratch, and it sounds pretty low on the door as well.
Oh, hey, Wubby, can you go answer that door? It sounds like one of our members needs to get in, and maybe his hands are full. Sure thing, boss. And this little black cat runs and goes right to the door and opens it.
All right. Run right onto the door, give it a big old nice swing open, and there looks to be a massive organic mass of something filling up the doorway. Some kind of an amorphous blob, vaguely humanoid, kind of writhing around, slowly inching its way, squeezing its mass through the doorway with a little bit of difficulty.
No, you can't come in. No, you can't come in. Oh, crap, he's coming in. Hey, boss, he's coming in. Coming in, boss.
Very slowly, like a massive amount of gelatin trying to fit through way too small of a hole, it begins to seep in. It does not get to the point where it makes skin-to-skin contact, but gets just about to that level with everyone, gets a little bit uncomfortable before the springy mass of flesh-tone abomination stretches into itself, minimizing, forming a bit of a dark gray sphere before taking on a more traditional form. After some time, this form is going to go into a bluish-tan feline on all fours. There look to be some kind of vestigial body parts, such as other limbs it might have had at some point, showing itself in the form of spikes along its body. There look to be strange ribbons phasing in and out of its body as if it were a phantom. With large yellow eyes, it looks up at you from only being maybe about 2 feet off the ground, but around 7 feet in length from the tip of the tail to the beginning of its snout. Hello there. It seems you are forming a kitty syndicate without inviting me?
And who are you?
Oh, who am I? Many have asked that question, but are they around to stand? No. You seem to be at least of a similar family as I. Begins to stand upon his 2 feet and is now kind of inspecting you in almost a angular, seductive kind of way. Now trying to take more of a position of power, kind of looking downwards, slinking around in almost a serpentine fashion.
Well, it's pretty interesting that you are all skin and I am all bone. Maybe we can do something about that.
Maybe we can do something about that. A figure like yourself, you don't seem built out for combat. However, you're building a committee. How is this so?
Why wouldn't I? It's my job to rule. I ruled in my life, and I'm going to rule now in my afterlife.
Interesting, ever so. Tell you what, I'll take part in this committee. But what I'd like from you is a display of your power. Not against me, not here and now, and not forcefully against any kind of a lesser. I'll stand from the shadows and watch with a glare and see what comes forth, separating the wheat from the chaff. But surely, you're the chaff. I'll stick around. But please, perform well. Carry your future endeavors out carefully, and I will emerge again at your side. How does this sound?
Great, as long as it's not behind me with a knife. It'll be fine.
Oh, weapons are so primal. Unnecessary. Those who aim and fires the gun don't know. The boy is a gun, not the rifle. Now, I must go. I've got things to attend to. I'm a very busy boy.
Yeah,
I'll be
me too.
seeing you.
Uh-huh. Have fun.
Good night. Gives a very high, kind of a weird shoulder elevation as he kind of takes his four-legged stroll back, really kind of raising those shoulder blades before he kind of slinks out the door.
Wubby, shut that door. Keep it locked. We don't want his kind back in here.
All right. So from there, I think we'll carry on to the next scene of just door slammed. And yeah, I think we'll go over. So Anarchy Elephant, have you been residing with Doppelganger or at a different location?
Anarchy Elephant has been residing basically homeless in the poorest, dirtiest, most crime-ridden area with the transients and the hoodlums and the bums, unintentionally asserting himself as a dominant figure by just being naturally imposing, intimidating, violent, and tough. And he just wanders around just being a destructive vandal most of the time. And that's what he's happy doing.
Right. So, why don't we go to, say, a moment right after you did like a nice bit of a ransacking and you're kind of like gloating on it a little bit. Or you're like right on the tail end doing a few tags, you know, doing something like that. And then we'll have a interaction here before Doppelganger eventually finds you.
I'm squishing a mailbox completely flat. I'm like doing my best to get it completely flat, with no matter what's in it.
All right. So you're trying to get the perfect mailbox swing, entirely flat. You know what? Give me a roll. Why don't we see if you can lay down the perfect mailbox?
Give you a roll. What should I roll? Let's just roll the dice. I rolled a 31.
So that'll be, you absolutely hit the mailbox. You don't hit it perfectly. And by the amount of damage you do, it gets flat, but it's not the perfect flat mailbox. It's not the perfectly destroyed mailbox.
Start trying to make it perfectly flat by pounding it into whatever the surface is underneath it.
Okay, give me, and that would be like an athletics check. Strength check, yeah.
I rolled a 3. Thanks, Shannon.
All right. I'm going to imagine that is you're going to try to flatten it. In doing so, you wrap the debris entirely around your hands, and your hands are a little bit stuck together now. So you try to get it perfectly flat, and like it kind of clipped through, it wrapped around you. It was still a little bit hot from it being mushed down so quick. So not receiving any damage, but right now your hands are bound together a little.
I'm going to start smashing my head into my hands until I break free.
All right.
My trunk. So I guess it'd be my trunk.
Yeah. That's something you could do. Try to pull it apart with your trunk. So I'll say you begin to do that. Latch onto it with your trunk. Try to give a big old pull, trying to pull it all off. There's some underlings that seem to kind of group around you from time to time. You see them in the surrounding area, just vandalizing. Some of them doing really elaborate spray paint pieces collectively, like 3 or 4 people, a few different colors, some of them multi-limbed, and they're really given like some detailed work. Running over along the side of you seems to be a robotic suit that is filled with like a goo, and within the goo looks to be something akin to like a goldfish. And that suit's going to give a little bit of a jog up to you. Oh, hey, you need any help, boss? What's wrong, man? You got wrapped up?
I'm going to use whatever's available on his suit as a can opener to try to free the mailbox from me.
So I'm going to have it where you just grab him, being a smaller guy, you pick him up, you're trying to, and he looks over. Oh, buddy, all you had to do was say. Around the torso area is going to open up, where the fish is able to exit from the suit, and it's going to try to spit a corrosive acid on your cuffs. Let's see here. That is definitely going to hit. And yeah, the cuffs are disintegrated from your hands as a strange goldfish-type creature emerges from goo within a suit and spits out some acid. You are now freed of there. I got you. You're all right, man. But we might want to call the stuff back a little bit, you know? Like, not everyone's down with our funky style. You know, just like messing shit up.
Hey, cats like fish. How would you like to be cat food?
I don't want to be cat food. In fact, if the cats are going to try to eat me, like, why don't we stop the cats? Premeditative strike on the felines? Poison the litter boxes?
I just wanted to know if you wanted to be cat food.
No, I don't want to be cat food. In fact, I might be harmful to his digestive system. I'm not really a fish to make chips out of, you know? I'm just corrosive. And I'm a little, toxic. But that's all right. We all got our issues. It's all right. But I do think we might need to head out of here quick. I mean, we've been messing stuff up for a while, and this is fantastic. But stuff's going to get bad, I think. I mean, you can heed your own warning, but I think I might be out of here. I'm just a little fishy. You're this big guy. I mean, what do you think?
I'm stuck on corrosive.
You stuck on corrosive?
Hey! I'm going to start spray painting him. You need some of this.
All right. So you're going to give him a good old spray. Is it going to be all over the place, or are you going to try to get some kind of a design down?
No, it's just going to be all over the place. I'm not very good at designs. Just random kind of lines.
All right. So basically, yeah, I will say, yeah, he's not really going to oppose that and just kind of take it and just get the full spray down.
Basically, it just says anarchy. It doesn't say this because I'm probably illiterate, but, it's like an unintentional mark. Yeah.
All right. So you end up leaving your mark on him. He gets sprayed all over. After it kind of clears away, he looks down at himself.
Let's go find another mailbox.
Yeah, boss, let's find another mailbox. They won't even know I'm a fish. Thanks for the disguise, boss. You're the greatest. And he's just kind of
everyone's gonna know you're a fish.
At your side. I don't know. I'm like spray painted and stuff. I look like a weird Cosmo spaceman now. Before I look like a fish in some goo. I think you're smarter than what you give yourself credit for, boss. I don't know. Speaking of, I got a real serious question for you. Real serious question.
I hate serious questions.
Well, I mean, has anyone ever told you that you look like the great warrior, or do you have any relation to Bastardon? No? No relation to a being known as Bastardon? I'm not sure on the pronunciation. He's a big mammoth guy.
I don't know anything about this bastard guy.
All eyes know.
I've never met him.
If someone says you're him, I might just nod along with them, man. Because some people have been talking, and they think you're him. And
I don't know. If they call me a bastard, I don't know. That'll just depend on what kind of mood I'm in.
Gotcha, boss. You're the greatest. Oh, what's that over there? He points off to Doppelganger, starting a brisk jog in the direction of Anarchy Elephant.
I envision that we are running full frickin' speed, and we don't stop till we run into him.
Boss, they're coming in close. What do we do? You want me to spit acid at him? I got another one. I got another one back here. No?
Yeah, spit some acid at her.
I'm gonna go spit some acid. You got it, boss. He attempts to spit some acid. There was a 37, so that is going to miss. However, as you're running over to the left of you, you manage to run and weave out of the path of it, but a massive green glop of acid is disintegrating the ground next to you. And you continue your run forward. Oh no, we're toast, boss! Do something!
Hey, two-headed person.
We're running full speed. We slam into you, causing all of the front of the cheese poof dress, all the cheese puffs smash in between us. And we say, not another one.
Oh, thanks. And I'm going to start sucking cheese poofs up with my trunk.
So good to see you. Where have you been? Who cares? We have to go to a club.
I don't like clubs.
Where's Dad?
I only like my gun.
They have... Well, I don't really know what it's about or what the guy's name was, but he looked really cool.
You at a club?
No, not like a Bam Bam club, like a... we're all together club. Like the cool kids club. Where's Dad?
Like a gang?
I don't know. Maybe. Maybe not. He said no cops. I said no. We said no cops. And he said, okay, no cops. Where's Dad?
What?
Where's Dad?
Who?
The kitty cat.
Hey, fish. Oh, kitty cat.
I thought you loved kitty cat. You're always with kitty cat.
I do, but I'm not always with kitty cat.
Kitty cat.
I mean, maybe we should go find kitty cat.
Let's go find kitty cat.
We can give him a good stroking.
I'm a little concerned about kitty cat. I don't know.
Kitty cat's gonna love you.
I thought he's gonna eat me. He might love to eat me.
He might.
You know what? Give me a little more spray paint. Just give me a little more, and I'll pretend I'm an alien. It's okay.
Be a man
It'll work.
or a fish.
Eat you.
You know what? You're right, boss. You're right. You're always right. I gotta stop thinking with my noodle, and I gotta think with your trunk. All right, let's do it. He ends up getting behind you, all confident, hands on his hips, like ready to go.
Hey, do you want to get some noodles first?
Yeah.
Yeah. Get some noodles.
The whole time to the noodle place, we're going to be going, kitty, dad, kitty, cat, dad.
I'll be yelling kitty as well. Kitty! Really loud. Just different tones and different ways. And kitty! And doing maybe things with my trunk. Kitty! I don't know. Maybe randomly firing into the air.
So I will say that you do know a place that has some of the best pasta. It's a real good Italian restaurant. And it seems to have some of the best pasta dishes around. They got a real good lasagna. That's what they're really known for. It's a special that they have on Mondays. Unfortunately, it's Monday, and you can get this deal. If you go in and get the John Davis special, you'll be completely hooked up. So what's going to happen here is you find the place, and it looks to be a good old Italian place. Not too big, not too small. Looks a little big in the back, but who knows?
Walk right past the front door and circle to the back of the building to the dumpster.
All right. I don't think this is the entrance, boss.
It's free back here. This is where you eat for free. They put all the good food out here, and we come back here and eat it, and it's so good.
Oh, I guess two heads are better than one.
She knows what she's talking about.
We'll tap our temple with a crazy smile.
Yeah, I'm with it. The fish is definitely supportive of the party. All right, so you're trying to make your way in the back door?
Nope, to the dumpster.
Right to the dumpster. All right. Okay, so I will say, are you doing this stealthily or not stealthily?
Hell no! I'm just marching up. I don't know about everyone else.
All
right.
right.
I'm marching right behind you.
All right, just going right up and digging in. All right.
Yep.
Well, I'm gonna rip the lid off with my trunk. I'm gonna rip it off and just kind of let it fly in the air behind me. I get a 41.
Yeah, you yank it clean off. It is off there. It definitely had some kind of deterrent to keep whatever kind of creatures or whatever the case out, but yeah, you just busted clean through it.
We missed you, Uncle Elephant.
You haven't eaten since you saw me last, or what?
Have cheese poofs.
I love cheese poofs.
And this...
Oh, I love whatever this is, too.
A lot of dumpsters, fine dining boxes don't have locks on them.
I'm going to stick my nose straight through all the garbage so it gets to the bottom of the dumpster and it can suck up all that sweet dumpster juice at the bottom.
You slurp up that dumpster juice. That's
sweet,
some
greasy dumpster juice.
Oh, yeah, that multiple consistencies. It was nice and coagulated. And it definitely hit the spot. The fish is going to go over and peek out of his suit. He's going to spit down a little bit of acid. on one of the other containers, and the fish is going to proceed to jump right into the hole that he makes, and is going to proceed to just kind of swim around inside of the garbage.
That's
what
we're doing.
Oh yeah, this is good. That being said, this is so Pharaoh, you were hearing a lot of noise outside. You heard the sound of a metal lid being ripped off and slammed to the ground. You can hear it sounds like there is multiple large creatures going through your garbage. And you can also hear, oh yeah, occasionally, in a kind of muffled echo, very loudly.
Wubby, would you mind checking to see what that commotion is all about? Yeah. Sure thing, boss. Oh shit, boss. There's a two-headed thing out here, and a giant. Oh my God, they found me. All right, give me 1 second. And Pharaoh pushes Wubby aside, and Wubby gets down on all fours and lowers his head, and Pharaoh walks out. What the hell do you think you are doing?
Oh, hey, it's a kitty!
Doppelganger's gonna pop up with some noodles on her head looking like hair and go, Daddy, I missed you!
You have not changed.
Why would I? Why?
Look...
We're perfect.
Yes.
You want some of this sweet dumpster action?
I get dumpster action as much as I want. Why do you think I moved behind this wonderful Italian restaurant with the John Davis special?
Oh, you live here? I've been looking for your new place.
Did I say live here? No, I do not live here.
Show me where you're at. Show me your snarkophagus.
I want to see.
Yeah, so is your snarkophagus.
Oh man, I didn't mean I live here. I mean
come on, where's it at? And I'm just gonna start like lifting the dumpster up. Like, well, actually, I can't probably lift it up, but I'm gonna like shoulder it so it gets just totally knocked off onto its side, exposing what's ever behind the dumpster. And I'm just gonna start kicking stuff around until I find the doorway to the cat's lair. And I mean, unless he jumps in.
Like about 85 cats run out.
Whoa!
We are trying to grab cats left and right out of just sheer love, like Elvira hugs. Elmira hugs.
Elmira. I wouldn't mind an Elvira hug. An Elmira hug, I would.
The fishes proceed to jump back in its suit out of fear as the dumpsters are being knocked around and felines are abundant.
Oh, you brought us lunch.
Hey, kitty, I brought you some dinner.
Well, thank you. You know how I appreciate you bringing me fast food.
I swear I'm an alien. I'm one of those. I'm one of those space guys. Yeah, I'm one of those.
It doesn't matter. You probably still taste really good.
Meet more. Take me to your leader.
I am your leader.
That's probably gonna offend some people. Whoopsies.
Thank you.
Yeah, I probably shouldn't appropriate alien culture. It's not a good move.
His spit made this hole here in this metal, so if you eat him, you might get hurt, and I will cry and cry and cry, and I will be there every day to take care of you while you're dying in your bed.
He told me he's got constipation or something.
Well, I think we should have our taster try him first. Hey, Tinkle Winkle, can you go try and eat that fish, please?
Tinkle Winkle.
Step closer. Don't do it. I'll spit acid at you.
Spit acid at him.
Tinkle Winkle can't try the fish because the second Tinkle Winkle pops out, we snatch him up.
All right. So like, the fish is gonna look terrified, but then after Tinkle Winkle gets like grabbed up, yeah, you get grabbed and stuff, yeah. Thanks, guys. Hanging with you guys is, geez. So it's a little bit crazy, but it's all right. It's all right. But at this point, I might want to head out in a little bit. I mean, you folks look like you got stuff to do. I might check out that fashion show. I mean, I might try to be on the runway. Look at all these colors. Look at them all.
We
Looks
think
great.
that you will make a splash. It's going to go great, but we have this club we need to... Do you want to go to the club?
Yeah. Let's hit up this club.
Dad, come to the club.
What are we talking about?
There's a man who had a lot of really cool, like, cybernetic stuff, and he said that he had a club, and we were invited, and there was going to not be any cops, and he said that we should go, and we should go. It's going to be fun. Come with us.
Yeah, let me think about that. You met somebody who invited you to a club that is probably full of criminals and probably dangerous if there's no cops. And you guys just said, okay.
I'm going to start rubbing Pharaoh with my trunk, kind of like petting.
On that note, I'll lick some of your paper.
Did it's papyrus, not paper. What were you thinking when you said, okay?
It'd be super duper fun, and we could be with the cool kids, and you could come too, and you might have more people with your kitty gang. The kitties can come. Have your harem of kitties come.
If it's going to keep you out of trouble, I might as well. And I might make some better contacts. So,
you care about me?
Care is a large word. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe I think about you every couple of days. I don't know. Maybe I wonder what you're doing. Maybe I
I think the kitty likes you.
We snatch Pharaoh up and shake him and hug him.
You're like the daughter-son I never had.
I'm going to sniff his butt with my trunk.
And you are like the son I had. Until I drowned him in a sack.
I hope it was a nut sack. Now let's go find that guy with the club.
We're trying to put two and two together that he thinks of us as a daughter and he drowned his son in a sack. But we don't quite get there. Let's go!
All right. So you begin heading down to a place mentioned earlier where the club was. And it looks as though it's around like the dead center, right around what would be the capital of Smooth City. The city itself, at least around when you arrived, and the stuff that seems like untouched by people, looks very new. Like it's a very new, very modern, futuristic city. The biggest thing that you noticed is there doesn't look to be any kind of spacecrafts that are capable of fully leaving the world and entering the atmosphere of another. There are vehicles that can be used in space. There look to be different kinds of vehicles, in fact, but no kinds of rockets or things capable of full interstellar travel. Many of the beings you see as you walk along all look like they have some kind of combat capabilities and look as though they've seen kind of the rougher side of the gladiatorial system or, beings that have been victims of war over time and being victims of both sides, whatever the case. Definitely looks like a lot of people trying to start anew, and it's never an on and off switch. It's a struggle. It's a little bit of a fight, but there's still people making somewhat of an attempt, others that aren't caring as much, but that seems to be the general gist as you make your way towards the center of the city, which looks to be the area in some of the best conditions due to how durable everything is. And it seems as though the materials used were very advanced. It does not look like a rush job at all. And around in what would be the Capitol building, it seems as though they're holding the show inside there. There's lots of flashing lights coming from the entrance.
Hey, Tyson, I'm taking some more weaknesses so I can get a mech suit that looks like a giant fighting cat. So, so far I have greedy, nest builder, demonic, and I'm thinking about dependent. And that's dependent is going to be on doppelganger.
Mm-hmm.
So that would make 6. So that would give me enough for the mech suit.
Awesome. Yep.
Okay.
Yep. We can totally do that. Yep. Yeah, it's totally doable. Awesome.
Awesome.
All right. So yeah, at this point, you can the party can do what they wish or enter. It looks as though you were right about at the entrance of the Capitol building, where there looks to be some kind of a runway fashion show going on inside.
Do I see the cyborg at all?
You do not. It seems as though like anyone that's around in the area is inside. Like it seems like it's packed in there.
I'm going to attempt to go in.
Okay. As you're walking in, looks like smooth sailing. After like a short time, it looks as though that there is a single security guard standing at the door before you are granted entrance. Putting out his very large hand. You saw the hand before you saw the person due to perspective. And after you look up, you see what looks to be a very, very, very big Greek gladiator style man. Looks around to be at least 18 feet tall. Big old fuzzy beard, hair in a whole lot of other places, atop the shoulders, almost like shoulder pads. Besides that, seeming very human, and wearing golden armor, such as a golden helm and golden wrist gauntlets, etc. Sandals and shorts. Halt.
We will cup our hands over our mouth and yell up at him, like we think that he can't hear us. Good day, tall sir.
Crouching his head all the way down.
When I say that she's trying to communicate with the guy who's very tall, since I'm right behind her, I'll wrap my trunk around her waist and like lift her up in the air over my head so that she's closer to his face.
All right. The large figure is going to crouch down a little bit, bending at the midsection so he can really bring his head down to the level that everyone else is.
Right in his... I was going to say right in his face, we'll scream again. Hello, good sir.
Greetings. You can speak a little bit quieter, though. I'm right here.
I'm sorry. I thought a little voice and it needed to get it in your big ear holes.
It can be a little louder than that.
How's
My
this?
name is Exlibris, and I am the keeper of the gate.
Well, can we come in?
You wish entrance into here? Let me see how you look. He begins to kind of look around everyone's attire. Excellent.
We'll strike a pose.
Oh, great! Have entrance. You are indeed fresh. Come in. Moves his hand to the side and allows entrance of everyone.
Thank you, oh big titties.
I'll hold out a hand to shake it.
He extends his pinky finger, which seems to be like a fair fit if you have like both hands to kind of shake it.
We'll from the face that's facing Elephant, we'll act like we're gonna whisper and then scream, I wonder what this guy's doing next Friday night.
Exlibris just looks over you three. Have fun. I'll make sure everyone stays safe. Have a good time. Oh, Glory to you! Glory be your happy faces. He proceeds to stand guard at the entrance as you all begin to move forward. There are all kinds of flashing lights. It looks as though there are no main lights, just a bunch of smaller ones, flashing different colors in sequence: red, purple, blue, red, purple, blue, orange, yellow, red, purple, blue. Like getting certain sequence down. The runway is reasonably lit, and as you walk in, it looks like you're walking in the middle of someone performing. So you're kind of moving forward. There's a bunch of silhouettes, but not the kind of silhouettes you see going into a movie theater when we used to be able to do those things. No, you see different kinds of silhouettes of like, well, that's a praying mantis fella. That's like a goo I can see through, and you see the shadow of its eyeball. You see all different kinds of body forms and silhouettes as you make your way into like a space at least to sit. You manage to find some seats. There looks to be 4 going the long way, and it seems to be like within like aisles where you don't have to worry about people kind of bunkering on the ends of you.
I'm going to sit down, taking up 3 seats. I'm going to grab the kitty and put him on my lap and stroke him with my trunk.
Right. Awesome. So yeah, so you pop down a seat. You can feel some of the awkward, what would be like hand rests. They're gonna kind of like fold in and like mesh to your size.
I'm gonna kind of like get my ass in there and kind of shimmy it around, just like destroying the armrests to get them out of my way.
Oh,
so
yeah.
A place for my ass cheeks to sit.
You absolutely take up 3 seats. So you have your 3 seats, and yeah, and then all right. So everyone kind of like makes their way in. And it looks as though the performance going on right now, you see a few people going across the runway. One of the examples you see is it looks as though going across the runway are like a few like undead. So similar to like a March of the Dead, but where they're all kind of sporting different kinds of fashions, specifically more like old world things like neck binders and more like expansive gauges and stuff like that, showing off stuff like that. Showing
now
more.
You have my attention.
So it would be something more in the wheelhouse of Pharaoh. It's things that you would notice of like, oh, that's a headdress design that I remember. Lots of uses of the gold and blue.
Dad, this is nice, but it has nothing on cheese couture.
I don't know what you're talking about. This is stunning.
You never do. You don't understand us.
It's a generation thing. You wouldn't understand.
So around on the tail end of the March of the Dead, there's a few. There's like some that have what look to be more fresh musculature, non-rotten, but beneath is a bunch of bone, elongated fingers and the whatnot. And they seem to be sporting less clothing, so something that would be considered more bikini section before undead. So they seem to be sporting like different kinds of fashions. And then as like the undead march kind of hits an end, flashing in lights are the words Dre Roads. And a robotic runway model is going to make her way onto the scene. And she's going to start her walk down the catwalk. As she does it, there looks to be like a trail of destruction as she's walking, and it is like annihilating the runway as she's moving. No one else is in any kind of danger, but like where she walks is just a path of lethality. You see her make like a clean walk across. When she hits the end of the runway, it looks like they sport a massive boulder-sized chunk of an incredibly dense material. Seemingly the material that you would find at the core of a meteorite, deep within a planet, or condensed at the bottom of a ravine. With a singular punch, it is going to shatter and rain over the crowd like glimmering diamonds. After that, she is going to walk her way to the back, annihilating the runway completely, digging it further into the ground before the lights will come on. And yeah, and there'll be a small crew that's doing like cleanup. And at this point, a person will jump on the mic. This one looks a lot more human, seemingly, but due to so many accessories and hats, you have no idea what's underneath. The sleeves are really big and the hat's big, and it looks like a small child wearing like their parents' clothing, and just like, and the voice is all muffled too. There's just no idea. And deep from within the coat, you can hear, "Oh, so like, if like anyone else wants to perform, well, we can have you on in like 5 minutes. Yeah. Okay, bye." You notice the form kind of fumbles around a little bit, looking as though it loses its balance momentarily, and then continues to walk normally. Little bit of a 3 kids in a trench coat situation, or something. Who knows in this setting what's underneath there? You have zero clue. So anyway, yeah, the lights are going to go on, and it seems as though now would be prep time before doing your runway thing. Every single one of you are eligible.
Well, you know Doppelganger wants to, and she also wants to find the cyborg that just went down the runway and ask her to be our mom.
Okay, so that would involve going to the back. So I imagine you would. So you want to start heading to the back to try to find Dre?
Shit, yeah, if we can get back there.
Okay. So I will say, you'll like get up the stage, you'll like start moving past. As you start going further and further, you see that very familiar, really big hand show up. Hold up. Bridge coming through. A big Riddy's here. Like, they don't want people going in there. Like, speak first. Be like, "Hey, can I come in?" Yeah. Or something like that. Just be careful here. Like, everyone's a little off. Not everyone's a big friendly. Oh, like me. So,
Is
okay.
it dangerous, a bigger tease?
Dre Rhodes is incredibly dangerous.
But they said anyone could perform, and I want to perform, and we want to find the last model. She was amazing.
Tell you what, since you really want to meet her, I'll set in a word. I still gotta protect the place, but I'll set in a word, and I'll see what happens. I'll talk to her manager.
Thank you.
I will do that. One thing I will tell you, she is a performer, but that thing she did with that punch, that was legitimate. That was not weakened or cracked.
I believe it 100%, and we're going to hug a bigger tease big toe.
Oh, hey there. Oh, that's a little weird. Whoa. Get off there. Makes me feel like you're a bug.
It's only weird if you make it weird.
Oh. Alrighty, I gotta go back to protecting. I'll set in a word. Maybe you'll hear from her. A big Riddy's kind of steps off. You see him pick up a very large device, but it's still something where his fingers proportionally are not very good at pushing the buttons. But he's trying. He's trying really hard. You can hear all the because he's hitting like 7 buttons at once. But he's trying. So I'll say some time will pass. It'll get closer to showtime where anyone can kind of like go up and do their thing. And I will say at that point, the door to the back room is going to open. And it looks as though that there is some kind of a strange fella looking a little bit kind of like someone you'd see on the back of a cereal box, sort of like the Quaker Oats guy, but an alien. He's wearing some tall cowboy boots, and he's holding open the door, gesturing the 3 of you in.
I grab Elephant's trunk and the Pharaoh's hand and rush back there.
All right.
And the fish
I will go where led.
All right. So making your way to the back, it looks as though there's like a few little resources you can grab to like help enhance your performance, a few little fashion accessories if needed, but it seems as though they largely want you to use independently some of the stuff you came in with. There's a big sign explaining like a few things.
I'm gonna rip signs off the wall as I pass by with my trunk is busy. Never mind.
Oh, you could take your trunk back as long as we got through the door.
No, it'll be better that way.
Really, you're just like really you're staring at all the signs like I want to get it. Eventually you are led into a room. That door behind you is gonna close, and within that room is Dre Rhodes. And she's just kind of standing. Upon closer observation, she looks as though she's completely machine-like, or some kind of an android or something. It looks as though she has like a heel kind of structure, kind of like built into her foot. When she performs and arrives, it looks as though she doesn't wear any kind of like attire. It's just more of the robotic form is the spectacle that she shows off. So in that kind of a form where a lot of the accessories are like fully integrated into the body. So she's going to look around at the party. It looks as though she has a very, very, very cold expression. It's very hard to tell if there's like a soul in there or something. She makes her walk towards the group, and a very similar thing to when she was on the runway happens. Like the area behind her, it just gets annihilated. Just gets like completely wrecked. After she takes a few steps, she's gonna stop, kind of like look down, kind of noticing some of the damage and the debris. And then she is going to take a seat. She's going to kind of like sit down stylishly with her like legs crossed, still kind of like checking over, examining the party up and down, like very carefully, like looking down everyone.
We say nothing. She takes our breath away, and we're in shock.
Dre is going to give a big dramatic pose with like her right hand on the back of the chair, arching her back backwards, holding her left arm in the air with like much spectacle, and then she's going to lean forward, walk over to one of the walls not near the party, punch it. It gets entirely annihilated, and then she just walks through the hole that she made. From the hole where all that happened, you see Pharaoh. You see the head of that feline fella you ran into earlier peek out of the hole that was made, and he kind of slinks his way forward in a gross organic form before taking on his feline spiked tan and blue appearance. Didn't think I'd be seeing you here.
I'm everywhere. Everywhere that deserves me to be.
Oh my. Well, that's a hole in the wall. I see you've met Dre.
I see Dre has met me.
What do you think? Isn't she fabulous?
Yes.
She makes a lot of holes. She tears shit up.
She's impressed my
I want to fight her.
Will she be my mom?
I think all the answers to all those questions are no. She is a fiery, noble spirit.
I don't like when people tell me no. Who's your friend here, Kitty Kitty?
I want a mom.
I thought he was your mom.
He's my dad.
I thought I was your dad.
You're my uncle. It's a kitty. What's this kitty's name? We're over the robot now. Now we're on the kitty.
I don't know if I properly...
What is it with all these kitties with no fur?
Well, I don't have any of that. That would get in the way.
We like naked kitties.
It's too coarse. It gets in the way. I haven't properly introduced myself, have I? I don't think I have. Well, the first thing I'd like to get to, my name is Ardo. And my job is just doing my thing. I don't have any affiliations. But I've been hearing about this kitty club, and it's got my interest piqued.
I want to be in a kitty club.
Doesn't it sound great? Isn't it just sound like something you want to cozy up and be a part of? It does. It sounds like a good old club. Now, I've been trying to get Dre on board with, well, anything. And it's been quite the challenge. I've seen her knock away things with a single blow more times than once. Walls, structures, gladiators, all those tough guys just get laid down on their back, no taller than a tiny, tiny boy.
Why is she so angry?
I don't
Why
think
she gotta be
is.
angry? Maybe she just likes to break stuff.
You like to break stuff.
I know.
You're not angry.
The way that I see it, she's entirely synthetic, right? If she's entirely synthetic, that means she was created by someone. If she was created by someone, there would need to be a purpose. Yes?
No, not
Me,
you.
Kitty, or that Kitty? Oh, I see.
You're like lumpy flesh thing. This is Kitty. Hey, Kitty, am I totally syncopatic?
Yes, you are totally syncopatic.
Awesome.
Oh my god.
Go on.
I'm organic syncopatic.
So what I'm thinking of doing here, I just want to make sure things are understood here. Dre is a fiery spirit. Anyone would like to have that on their team, but as I said, she was created. If she's created, it was for a reason. What that reason is, I don't know. Is the creator still alive? I don't think so. But looky there. It's a force to be reckoned with. And honestly, I just think that's how she gets around. I've never heard her say a word in my life. Never. So, I'm going to be sitting down ringside, and I want to see how all of you perform. I'll be looking forward to that. Kind of slinks his way around in a gross, organic centipede kind of form, still with the same sort of feline head with those big yellow eyes gazing up, and he's going to kind of slink his way around through that crevice up through the ceiling.
We will.
I don't think that's really kitty. That's like a kitty bug.
We'll
I don't
turn
like it. It
Pharaoh
creeps me
and
out.
Elephant, and we'll say you're gonna perform. I thought we were just gonna perform.
Perform what?
The fashion show. I bet.
I'm not
hey,
following.
If Drea can tear up the runway, I bet you can
Who?
go out there. The robot lady. I bet you can go out there with your spray paint and you can like spray paint a mural down the runway. Amazing. And Dad, yeah, you'll do great.
I always do.
Everything's going to get ready for the next phase. So really briefly, doing the introduction, starting off, your fishy friend from earlier with his fully sprayed up appearance is going to show up on the runway. It looks like he's going to kind of start off. All of you can kind of see him from like the back, and he's going to kind of go like across, do his thing, big old like goofy proud strut he's giving off, almost like rubber hose style, and he's going to be like popping off a little bit of acid like rhythmically, and that's just going to be his deal. He's going to go down one way, do it again, kind of do a little skip through one of the puddles of it here and there, kind of singing in the rain style. Maybe he's going to pop off a few in the sky and then pull up an umbrella. That's going to be his routine. A little bit of singing in the rain, like kind of rubber hose animation style, before he makes his way back to the backstage where he sees all of you. How'd I do?
You did great. You made a mess, but it looked wonderful.
Yeah, I made a mess. I like making a mess. Yeah, I made a big fucking mess, guy. It's awesome. And he's just going to kind of march his way around. There's going to be a small cleanup crew. You're going to see kind of putting in like filler material to fill in some of the holes. They're all wearing... It's like kind of imagine what would be like Imperial Stormtrooper armor, but much blockier. Kind of like in between the hazmat guys from Monsters, Inc. and Stormtrooper. They're just big, blocky, kind of multi-armed guys coming down, spray things down, fill it in. All right, go, go, go. Just run away. So who would like to go next?
We're excited.
All right. So let's see.
We're going to come to the end of the runway with hands above our head together, do a little ballerina twirl, and then plant our feet and do like a head bob. Then we'll walk like an Egyptian a little ways and pretty much just do like interpretive dance all the way down. And you see my burlap sack is starting to get ripped. It's got shattered cheese puffs all over it. Cheese puffs are falling off behind us. And yeah, we pretty much just do that the whole way down and back.
All right. You notice the ones that fall off, there's people on the side that are grabbing them, some putting them like in their pockets. There's a few that are immediately eating them, and some right after going and coughing off the little hardened bits of glue. Other ones seem completely fine.
We'll wink at them and finger guns. Yeah.
All right. You notice that you got a pretty good reception on that one. The crowd pop, especially like as you were heading out, was like real good, as people were kind of snacking on the little cheese bits and realizing what they were. And they seem to be like all about it. As soon as you make your way and you walk through, the first figure you see is the Quaker oatmeal looking guy wearing the cowboy boots in the powdered wig. And he has his arms crossed and he's almost like nodding his head a little. You had to go out and do the cheese puff thing?
That's what we do. Do you do the cheese puff thing?
Let me show you something. He reaches into his pocket and he pulls out what looks to be like a fashion magazine that's about like 3 months old or so. It's like a few months old, I'll say. And he's flipping his way through and he points to a picture. And in that picture, it looks to be Dre Rhodes. And on not the entire suit, but some of the details hanging off in like little beads are little Cheeto Puffs.
We will snatch the magazine and go looking for her immediately.
Oh, that's my magazine. That is a collector's item. And you're going to see him try to like make his way after you. You can hear the spurs of his cowboy.
I'll impose myself in between her and the cheese man.
You're going to see him put his hands up as soon as you show up. Oh, it's a snuffleupagus. Oh, my. Oh, Lord. Okay,
I don't have a snuffleupagus.
Let's take it easy. Snuffy. Let's take it easy. All right. I'm not dealing with no imagination creatures today. No way, no how. Nope. All right. Okay. You're going to see him slowly step his way back with his eyes open, his hands with his fingers all separated, showing he doesn't have anything. And he's going to back up till he hits a corner, and then he's just going to run, just like away. So yeah, so you're trying to turn the corner and find Dre. So who would like to go next on the runway while Doppelganger is trying to find Dre?
I am going to follow after Doppelganger.
All right. Pharaoh, would you like to take up the runway?
Sure. This cloud of dust with a rancid smell comes flying down the runway. And Pharaoh is covered head to toe in ceremonial headdress and body wrappings that are all made out of cheese. And he slowly starts walking down the walkway, peeling pieces of cheese off and throwing it into the crowd. Like, this cheese isn't good enough for me, but it's good enough for you. And like, he's giving it to like homeless people. And when he finishes his turn, it all just falls off, and there's this skeleton cat just kind of like sauntering off.
All right. When throwing the cheese up, a lot of the audience members got the gesture. So one way or another, you got a reaction out of people. Some of it was positive, like, oh, look what's going on here. But then the negative reception wouldn't be that people aren't responding. It's people trying to like hard boo, given that kind of a reception.
He lives for that boo.
Yeah, and it's a nice mixed reaction where everyone's at least reacting heavily, whether it's positively due to like getting it and being like, oh, all right, that's cool, that's like a really cool thematic thing, and then other members being like, oh, he's like degrading us, what's going on, he's looking down on us, strutting like a kitty. So yeah, you end up doing your full strut. You notice like right as you're about to like turn the curtain, you can see those fiendish yellow eyes gazing up, giving a slow clap. And that's
Just
like
gives
the last you see.
a little nod and just walks off.
All right. So next we will go to Anarchy Elephant and Doppelganger, which as soon as Pharaoh gets to the backstage, you notice, oh, where'd the other two go? And those two are going to be running around trying to find Dre. Twitch, I'll imagine you're given like a good old dash running around in the backstage area behind a wall that was seemingly punched a moment ago. You see Dre. It's like as you're turning a corner, you look up and it's like, oh, she's actually right here.
So we will kind of storm up with the magazine folded open to the Cheetos outfit and go right up to Dre and say, we are both appalled and very, very impressed, flattered that you copied us. When did you do this?
Dre is gonna look down at you almost confused, and then Dre is gonna grab that pamphlet over there, and she's gonna take her finger and she's going to point on what the date is. And you notice the date was a little bit far back. Then you see her like looking around. She puts up her finger a second, being one moment. You see her give a over dramatic jog into the back room. She grabs a piece of paper, runs back, shows it to you, and it looks to be her messing around with the idea and the concept, and looks to be almost literally on the day you came up with it yourself.
Okay.
So it seems as though it was come up with independently from each other.
I think that at that, we will no longer be upset. We will be impressed. And try and give her a hug.
You go for the hug. At first, she stands there like a fish, but then she brings her arms around and then embraces, and gives like a little bit of pat at the end.
Too tight.
She ends up letting go, realizing like, oh, and just kind of like releases a little bit. You hear like the hydraulics from the inside kind of just kind of release.
We step back and say, will you be our mom?
Dre gives a little bit of a left-handed cock of her head, looking a little confused. She puts her hand on her chin, kind of like ponders and like rubs it for a second. She looks around like behind her to the left and the right, and there's nothing but these long, empty white corridors, a lot of them with holes in them. She kind of looks down at her hands, moving her fingers and knuckles and all the different kinds of cybernetics in her hand. And after a bit, looks up at you, and then just like shrugs, just like sure.
You have to get married. This is the best day of my life.
So from there, it looks as though she's following at least within like 5 or probably at least within like 5 feet of you or so. So like whenever you get like a certain distance, you notice she's like keeping a certain distance, almost like an ally would in like most games of, oh, you reached that distance, oh, they're gonna follow you. Keep going. So she's got a good party member distance from you now. Yeah, so I'll say at this point we'll have the whole party kind of like come together and kind of see what's going on. So I guess from there, everyone will kind of like take their seats again after like performing, seeing the tail end of things. And yeah, y'all notice that Doppelganger has Dre is with her now, and yeah, there's a nice space for all of you to have some seats, nice and in the front. Dre showed you a good place to go where there are some reserved seats, and you can all watch the finale of the performance. So before the finale of the performance begins, the party is before.
Hey, elephant, tell Pharaoh. Tell Pharaoh what happened.
Where's Pharaoh?
With us, right here, right there, on your lap.
Oh, hey, I didn't see you there.
Oh, what?
I was missing you. You took a little nappy poo.
What happened?
You a wife.
No. No.
Well, I
What?
guess
I don't think Kitty's into girl kitties.
it might be a different generation because Kitty's
I don't
old.
think he's into any kitties.
Drea's new. You know, a lot of kids grow up well adjusted with divorced parents. I think we'll be okay.
Are you talking about that thing over there?
Don't insult her. She's a beautiful, beautiful model. Her name's Drea.
She's a model of what?
Didn't you see her tear up the runway? Literally?
Yeah, I did. I'm trying to forget about it because that was horrendous.
That was awesome.
I did so much better.
Missed your show. Oh, we're so
Do it again.
upset. Do it again.
That kind of performance you can only do once. And if you miss it, that's your problem.
Oh.
You will rue the day.
It's once in a
I'm
lifetime.
sorry.
Drea originally looked a bit offended, but then it kind of turned into like laughter. Like there seemed to be that frustration building. There was a little bit of tension there for a moment, but then she just started kind of like giving like a very like a very muffled laugh, like under her hand.
Hey.
See? She gets it.
We should go punch stuff. Let's go punch stuff together.
She ends up like not making eye contact. She's waving her right hand, sort of like, "Oh, in a minute. We let's go check this out first," because it looks like the finale of the performance is going to take place, or at least whatever kind of ending.
We'll slink back into our chair quietly and pout, but we'll listen.
Right.
Where did you get the concessions? Because you've been eating that magazine for like the last 5 minutes. Where do we get some?
Oh, I think I might. We were supposed to give this back. Oh well, we can give it back.
Don't worry
in a few
about
days.
it.
Off in the distance, around like 20 feet away, you can see him trying to like see like where you guys are and like who has it. But you can tell he's completely off, and it might take him a good 30 minutes to get over to where you are, even if he does it quick. But you can see him off, just like moving around trying to find his stuff. Everyone's getting pissed off by his presence. I'm just looking for this quick. Come on, man, get out of here. I'm trying to watch the show. Oh, but it's just this one quick. I didn't take your thing. Get out of here. Like, everyone is completely tired of him, and he's just moving around, shining a flashlight around, even though there's like a light on right now. Yeah, he's doing his best.
We took the picture of Drea out and put it in our pocket, but we are definitely eating the rest of the magazine.
All right.
During the show, you hear chomp, chomp, chomp.
Upon each crunch, you can see the powdered-headed searching man looking around every now and again, just frantically like, I know that's how someone's eating my book. I don't know where it is, but they're doing it. It's happening somewhere. Oh, they're crunching. They're doing the munching. So as the performance goes on, there is only two performers left to go on. The next one going on the stage, coming on out, looks to be Iron Tooth. So coming out wearing a big old trench coat. Looks to be in between a trench coat and a Hawaiian shirt. It's got the flannel design. It's very thin, but big old sleeves, massive collar, kind of almost see-through with the amount of lights that are being shined. Fully unbuttoned all the way, showing off the external cybernetic digestive tract, along with his sharpened, toothy, metallic grin. He has no nose or nothing up in that area because that's going to be more room for the teeth. They're so big. Just fills up the whole area. Would seemingly be human aside from that, but this look definitely seems to show off. Pretty much he's just going to show that off, walk up and down the runway, and you're going to see him grab large chunks of metallic objects that seemingly wouldn't be edible, and he's going to shove them in that jaws-like mouth and just completely grind it down and ingest it, where you can see it go down the see-through trachea on the outside, going into all the different necessary digestive organs in a very quick cycle. And that's going to be his shtick, going to walk down, show that off, and then he's going to, as he's walking down at the end, he's going to button it up and give a grin and then leave, kind of like walking his way up.
He'll scream, "We know that guy!"
I imagine, like, when you yelled at while he was on the runway, he gave, like, a little bit of a point and a wink. Just, like, eating more metal. Was really showing off that digestive system. And then lastly, going down the runway, you see these large yellow eyes hanging only a few feet off the ground, kind of slinking around in a serpentine, feline kind of way. The lights are really dimmed down for this specifically. The eyes almost act like dim headlights, shining faintly what is in front as he walks in a jerky pattern forward, almost lurching right into the really close audience's faces, getting very close to where you can see them kind of flinch back for a moment before he keeps moving around to the left and the right and does it a bit more forward again and then keeps walking down. Occasionally kind of shifting around its body. All of you have really good seating, so you will get one of these jeers where he comes like real close and then like kind of jerks back at like the last minute and kind of slinks around. Once he gets to like the end of the runway, he's gonna stand on his two legs. Body's gonna kind of jerk around a little bit. There is a big old weird noise going to be emanated from not even the throat or the mouth. It sounded like it came from its like gut, like in the middle of it is just this like horrible, horrible noise. People holding glass cups or drinking beer bottles, those are going to shatter. Anything like light enough, like delicate enough, is going to shatter. So any remaining cheesy poofs, those will crumble away. Like anything of that delicacy will kind of like crumble. And then after that, he is going to go into a really gross, nasty organic form, like when he first showed up, and at an incredibly brisk, disturbingly fast pace, squeeze all the way back into the place whence it came, kind of slurping its way through, kind of leaving behind a weird residue when it does so. And after that, the lights are going to go on. And yeah, and then they're going to kind of declare like, yeah, that's it. That's everyone. Everyone have a fun time. I'm not three people in a trench coat. Nope. That's everybody. Everybody do good. Okay.
Hey, elephant. Snatch their coat off.
What?
That person up there at the microphone. Snatch their coat off. See if it's three people in a trench coat.
You see if it's three people in a trench coat.
Please.
No way. I'm gonna get some food.
I'll hand him the rest of my magazine.
Start eating it up.
And you start eating that vintage magazine. All right, so here we go. So, Doppelganger, you gonna try to pull that coat off?
Yeah, I think I will.
Okay. So this is what we'll do. There'll be an interaction for each of you as we go around here. So, like, end of the show, everything's all wrapped up. You notice that the trench-coated tall figure, whoa, wobbling to the left, wobbling to the right, whoa, like flopping around. You're making your way towards him because it looks like this is your last chance. You know, if you take this opportunity, you'll be able to outspeed, give a grab, yank it off. You're getting within that proximity. Anarchy is heading over, maybe grabbing more snacks, whatever the case. And then along that way, as you're eating some of the pages of this, you see a powdered wig come near you, and a strange purple-skinned alien wearing cowboy boots. He's going to have his hands on the side of his head, Home Alone style, as he's watching you ingest the pages of a vintage magazine.
I'm gonna put the last page in my stuff, the last page in my mouth with my trunk, and then burp, belch, just really grossly. Probably whatever I ate in the bottom of that dumpster and in the powdered wig guy's general vicinity. Not being rude, that's just what I do.
Okay. So before we carry on with this, then we have Pharaoh. So what's going on with Pharaoh is those yellow eyes slink their way up to you again after his performance. And he has his like hand kind of up against the wall, leaning in. So how do you think I did?
You did. Admirable. It was watchable, I guess.
You see him almost get red in the face for a minute. Oh yeah. Well, you did. You didn't do I'm out of here. Just kind of slinks away really quick. Almost like very embarrassed, red in the face. You notice his more tannish blue complexion had more of a cranberry color this time. You know, kind of giving off a bit of embarrassment. And once he knew that was a scene, you see him kind of flee away like, ugh. So, Doppelganger, give me a roll to hit to pull off the trench coat. So, first we're going to see if you can grab it, which should be fairly easy.
49.
That is enough. So, this wobbling around tall, possibly 3 kids in a trench coat size, you reach over, you have a good old grab in it to like yank the thing off. Give me another roll. You can give me a strength, or you can have it be like a melee strike where you're just like jerking it off.
It's your strength, I think. I'm not trying to be violent. 42.
That will be enough. Okay. Yeah, that'll be enough where you pull out your hand, you grab. The figure continues to walk forward. You give the best pull you can. It's a bit of a heavy jacket, but it's enough where you feel the jacket come off the body, cleaved completely. So moving forward, continuing the momentum and looking as though they don't realize that the jig is up. You see 3 kind of shorter dudes kind of stacked one on top of each other. One of them looks as though he has cybernetics in his body in order to be this kind of a stack. There looks to be the middle guy. He has different attachments on his back, shoulders, lower portion in order to form such a thing. But his tech didn't seem to be working the best. On the bottom seemed to be one of the similar, and up top, now revealing himself, looks as though both of his arms are jackhammers built into his body. The one on the top is going to notice the jig's up, and you see him kind of like jump down from the structure in this kind of multi-jackhammered form. So yeah, they're going to be kind of like looking around like, uh-oh. The one up top that jumped down, the jackhammer one, to look over at Doppelganger.
We'll just look around whistling, like, trying to be inconspicuous, poorly.
Yeah, they're gonna give like a gander around. They're not responding in any kind of way, just like very much in shock of like, oh, jig is up. The one with the multi jackhammers. So I'm just gonna step away right now. No one saw us. We're gonna step away, and then that's it. All right.
I saw you. We saw you.
Wait, no one saw us. No, we're gonna get in big trouble.
Why?
Big trouble. We gotta stay in the trench coat. You ever see anyone stacked on each other in a trench coat that wasn't trying to get in trouble?
Clowns.
Clowns are always trouble.
It's like a clown car, but it's a clown coat.
Tell that to Clownicus Rex. So slowly walking backwards in a similar way that other figure did before, they're gonna kind of start kind of like shambling away. If anyone has any kind of will or means of getting them, whatever the case, you could do so, but otherwise they're just gonna kind of try to just get away. They look a little shocked.
I think Doppelganger just wanted to see what was under the trench coat, not in a weird way. she wouldn't have any care of any, other stuff going on.
Okay.
We're gonna have to register you on a list, doppelganger.
Double the fun.
All right.
She's a backwards flasher. She just makes other people flash them. She just rips people's clothes off instead of them ripping their own clothes off.
Don't turn this into a thing. It'll be a thing.
So it looks like everything with the show is kind of wrapping up. Everything's kind of settling down. Anarchy Elephant, you ate that guy's book, and he is just in a state of shock right now. You ate that vintage copy of the Cosmic Purple, number 42, issue 87, Zertox edition, and you ate it. You ate it with your mouth and you ate it with your teeth.
As he's talking, my trunk is going to pull out a can of spray paint and start shaking it.
Oh boy. That's why this place is never going to smooth out. They call it smooth city, but it's never going to smooth out with people like this. There's always some kind of nonsense around the corner. And I imagine as he's talking, you can begin spraying if you choose.
Yeah, there's always some motherfucker who's trying to ice skate uphill both ways. And I'm going to spray paint his wig.
You spray exactly right down across his wig, across his eyes. Yeah, he closes his eyes right at the last minute where it just over completely. He just gets sprayed down. And he's doing it where his eyes are closed and he's just taking the full spray paint, just furious on the inside. But you have complete range just to spray until they're empty. It's covering him.
I'll stop and drop the empty spray paint can in my trunk, kind of with a little bit of nubs, and it'll kind of give the nub of a thumb up, kind of, and then I'll go turn my back and go look for something to eat.
All right. So I imagine he's gonna stand there for a bit, where when you go get something to eat, and as the line's moving forward, after a bit you'll notice he'll then resume to start walking away and doing something. But he just stands in a state of shock for a bit. Just like some kind of cosmic nobility getting spray painted by a giant elephant. And he just had a very difficult time processing it mentally. And then he moved. And then he just walked away just in like a hippie. He just went off. So you're in line getting some snacks and identities have been revealed and
I don't wait in line. Lines are not my thing, so I'm just gonna have to.
Oh, you just walk right through.
Not like in a mean way, just because that's just what how it works. That's just I mean, it might be mean, but I'm not doing it to be a dick.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you notice it ends up working out because you end up reaching across with your trunk, grabbing what you need. Everyone works out okay. At first they're like, oh, what's going on? They're like, oh, check out this guy. And they seem to chill out much more when it's like, oh, hey, he's not being a dick about it. Of course, there's always have something to say. But
as long as you're not being a dick.
Yeah, they're like, oh, as long as you're not being a dick. That's the last thing we need on a planet full of ex-convicts and people that have dealt with crazy things. It's like, hey, just step in the right direction is how everyone sees things. It's like, oh, yeah. And that being said, so before we go on to the next part here, so Pharaoh, you notice that those yellow eyes are no longer kind of gazed on you. He's off over in the corner. It looks as though he's getting ready. He looks like he's getting ready to kind of leave and head out kind of hastily. So if you have anything else you want to say to him, go for it. Otherwise, what do you wish to do before we go into the next part? In the ending here.
Yeah, I don't know. I think we should go talk to Ardo again before he leaves.
All right. Okay. So Ardo looks like he's just about ready to head out completely. What would you like to say to him?
Ardo, do you have 1 second to speak to me in private?
I wanted to see if you wanted to join up with me. I mean, I was putting on a little bit of a facade before. I mean, we all do, but some are willing to admit that. I wanted to
I think
see
that
if
is
we'd be able to join.
what do you bring to the table? You saw my operation and it's all in its total magnificence. I just want to know what you bring to the table.
What do I bring to the table? I think I've stated my case. My shifting, my forming, my altering, my sneaking, my slinking, taking people from behind, all
That is
that
my
stuff.
favorite, yes.
Yes, that is indeed my favorite.
Let me discuss it with. Well, screw it. I'm not going to discuss it with anybody. Let's join together. I think we'd be good. I'm 51, you're 49. So, how does that sound?
That sounds decent enough. He ends up extending his hand, which is kind of feline slash human-like at the beginning, but towards the end of the fingers, it's almost kind of almost like spinny tentacle-like, like tendrily.
No. Yeah, Pharaoh reaches out his papyrus wrapped. Not papyrus. It would be just wrapped hand out and shakes
All right.
it.
He gives a good old shake, make sure it's a good one before retreating his hand back, making sure not to stick out the tendrils. All right. I guess we're all in this now, huh? I wonder where it's gonna lead.
Yeah, me too. But with me in charge, we'll never look back.
The future is bright, isn't it? He ends up taking like a look towards the ceiling. Seems to get like weirdly emotional for a second, and then just like shakes it off back to his normal kind of shtick. I'll be slinking around. I'll be around.
Okay, well, I
So-
got a couple of party members that I need, or friends that I need to watch and control and make sure they don't do anything super stupid. We will talk later.
Later. He then ends up slinking away, just kind of turning into like a very kind of wispy serpentine kind of form, one that seems actually capable of quick flight as he kind of turns that reddish color and just kind of zips away.
Guys, we all got our own NPC.
No way. I got some amphetamines and cleared that all up.
You got the fish boy.
That was just a rumor.
All right. So we can go into the ending bit here now. So looks like life's been going pretty good in Smooth City. Trying to make out new existences for everyone else and choosing to do so in possibly better ways that it was being done before, figuring new things about yourself, new interactions, and some people kind of just doing a little bit of the same, but doing it in an environment where they're able to do it. Things are seeming all right, I imagine. So I would imagine probably at a later date, whatever the case, everything running kind of smooth and smooth city, everything working out all right. But then suddenly, there is an attack. Loud explosions can be heard from outside, massive chunks of debris. The nearly impenetrable city is being destroyed by some kind of a force from space. And with no available rockets capable of interstellar travel on the world, this can prove to be quite catastrophic. One way or another, I imagine you would be awoken by either being shaken out of bed, the loud noises of the explosions, or possibly a nearby area or a chunk of your residence being hit by some kind of destructive debris. So, before we go into the specifics of that, are all of you living in the same residence now? Or are things still separate?
I'm probably now sleeping in the alley by the Catman's area club house headquarters, because I don't know if I'd fit in very well, like physically fit inside of it very well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, Drea and Doppelganger are going to be in the cat hideout because there's kitties everywhere. Wubby is our favorite.
All right, so starting to really build up the kitty club. Okay.
It's going to be hard to keep this secret, guys, if you keep walking in and out of here.
Oh, there's the whole alley is spray painted like with weird primitive pictures of you spray painted all over the wall.
What if we dance in and out? That's not walking. We'll go in and out of the door doing some weird dance.
We're going to have to find someplace better than this.
If you get a new house and you give us this room with, it's got pads on the wall, that's our favorite.
All right, so I'll say you were all living in the hideout. The hideout's maybe gotten a little bit bigger, but not big enough to be noticeable. And maybe the restaurant's grown a little bit from the pretty good business, specifically on those Mondays. The John Davis special has definitely boosted sales, and even some of those purchases around from the back and snacking on those leftovers is definitely enough to spread some word on how good the food is. With enough sales, the restaurant expanding as well, it's enough to stay decently hidden, but you know the jig will be up after a bit, so things are definitely thought about expanding or something else. Things are doing all right in Smooth City, but it seems like the crew wants to move on up. And with the group wanting to do so, what we'll have is, I will say that is when the loud noises will be heard. Whereas it's like, oh, I don't know if we can fit. I don't know how much longer we can stay hidden. A chunk of the hideout is going to completely be mashed away. It looks like the restaurant got hit a little bit too, but something happened. Loud boom. Chunk of the hideout's taken out. Looks like no one was harmed or killed, but it looks like it was by a very narrow margin. How does the party respond to this?
Wubby, find out what that was.
Sure thing, boss. I can't get out of this. The doppelganger, I can't get out of her arms. She won't let go. Send Tinkle Winkle.
Don't leave me, Wubby! If you can't get out, Drea can punch a bigger door.
Can't get away from you.
So, yeah. What we'll have is, after this happens, Drea's gonna give a big old jump, like, up to where, like, the hole happened, and looks to be giving, kind of like surveying the area, checking it out. The fish is gonna be freaking out. I imagine at the time he wasn't in his suit, so he's scrambling around. Oh, guys, where'd I put my suit? He's on the floor. I might have left it outside. Oh, I might have got crushed by the big thing. We don't even know what it is. And I might have crushed my suit. What am I going to do? I'm just a little gooey guy in this whole big world. What am I going to do? So, yeah, the whole crew is kind of trying to figure it out at this point. Drea, after giving a little bit of a surveillance of the area, is going to quickly, like, pounce downward, kicking up a bunch of dust, like a big old dust ring. You're going to see her grab a piece of paper, and she's going to start writing. It looks to be a little crude, but you see her draw a large shape of a tombstone, like all shaded in. And she's pointing at that, and then you see her point at the sky.
That's what almost destroyed our ship. Remember?
This is bad.
Who am I talking to here? No, of course you don't remember.
No, we remember. It was... Yeah, that definitely happened. This is not good. I feel like we should probably be scared.
Sirens begin to sound in the distance.
Anarchy Elephant is outside, and as the destruction rains down upon the city, he's just firing his machine gun willy-nilly, kind of into the sky, sometimes hitting the tops of buildings, just going along with the general destruction, like it's fireworks or a party or something.
You can't blasting stuff. After a short amount of time, you notice that your little minion, the fish, jumps behind you, gives you a look, a nod, and then starts doing more or less the same with his acidic spit. Just starts like hawking it as far as he can, and just doing a spectacle. This is what it's all about, boss. This is what it's all about. So you guys are
what it's all about.
Absolutely stewing in the chaos of the moment. All right, so let's go on over there. Doppelganger, how do you respond to the situation?
Well, since this is in the sky, I don't have a whole hell of a lot. I would say that we're probably squeezing Wubby as hard as we can out of fear, just kind of watching, waiting to see what happens.
Okay, so there's just like completely. All right, so you are stricken with fear in the moment of just seeing a massive. Because I imagine now you can see the shadow of bedrock loom over, just this humongous tombstone shape, decimating the world. You can see a few paratroopers coming down with like very advanced cybernetics, different kinds of construction tools built into their bodies. They look to be the architects of the new world and whatnot, but since so much was going on with all the crazy chaotic events of the sci-fi universe, often some of the workers ended up getting thrown to the side, so being jilted. Looks as though they're trying to take back the place by force. It does not look pretty, and it looks like the chaos is starting to reign in. Pharaoh, how do you respond to the situation?
Pharaoh goes and grabs Tinky Winky or Tinkle Winkle, and they enter the sarcophagus and close it behind them, and a wall spins around, and they are both inside one giant-sized, probably person-sized, like a human, probably 6 feet tall mech. It looks like a cat. Why can't I think of the word? An animal that looks like a human or has human traits, right? Can't even think of the word. Yeah, there it is. Anthropomorphic cat.
Okay.
And they are going to start firing their sun staff at the things in the sky.
Okay, so what I will say is in order to have enough reach, you got to get to a high point. So
okay.
I will say those with reach weapons, essentially what's going to happen is if you have a reach weapon and if your character has the mental capacity to figure it out, you'll go to a high point. So with Barrow, for example, going atop your business or going atop like a nearby building, for example, or one of the buildings that got leveled off would be a good way to try to reach it with the sun staff, because as bedrock is attacking, it is also increasingly getting closer to the planet.
Okay, let's do that. We'll go on top of one of the buildings right next to us.
Okay. You're gonna climb a nearby building. Anarchy, more or less the same.
Yeah, when I see the kitty cat going somewhere, I'm gonna follow him because.
Okay.
Because.
And as you follow him, the fish is gonna follow you, and it's gonna go in like a line, and all gonna be heading up that way, up the tallest nearby
probably
building.
follow as well, just to be with everybody.
Okay, so with everyone double moving and whatnot, it's going to be possible to reach the tippitiest top of a very high building using some of the leftover elevator bits from the inside. I imagine with the elevator inside of one of these buildings, because the top's shaved off, when you reach the top floor, it's just all blank and the elevator just falls over, not having any support up there. So you manage to like go in, walk in, take some machine things, and eventually get to the top of this kind of messed up building. That being said, you now notice Bedrock is heading toward the planet at an incredibly fast rate. It looks like it's trying to slam into the planet, which was that loud boom the first time. Looks like it does kind of a ram and then fires and continuously does a ramming fire kind of attack. There looks to be troops being dropped. None are necessarily on your position yet, I will say, but you do see troops getting dropped. It is now the player turn. The ship is within range to attack. quick thing I will say, Anarchy Elephant, I noticed there was a lot of rolls involved with your weapon. So how I was thinking about doing this is you first do the roll to hit, and then if it manages to hit, then you roll the other two at once, being the damage type roll in the other one. Alternatively, you can do the taking 3 dice or 3 sets, whatever it is, and have one of the rolls be, okay, did it hit? The other one being damage, if your weapon does average damage, and the other one being damage. Because otherwise, I realize it's like 30 rolls or something. It's a lot.
Yeah. Let's see, we can do sets of 3. Yeah, I can do that. I can roll 6 sets of 3. Is that what I need? 6 shots. Let's see.
Because your damage is average.
Yeah, the damage is average.
Okay.
No, the damage is strong.
Oh, okay.
Fuck.
So then one of those rolls
so I need 4 dice.
Yeah.
Let's see. Machine gun, 6 shots. It's strong. It's got the high recoil, so the affliction 100, paralyzing 1/4 the damage. And then there's a D10 for the chaotic damage type if you want to roll that too.
Although that was all the dice.
Yeah, lots of rolls. Like max rolling,
Yeah. So I wouldn't be worrying about the affliction roll because it's like a mass, unless you're hitting like a person, but there's no really people to hit. So it would be, because it's strong, 2 of the rolls would be for the strong, like one to be the normal roll, the other one to be if you get high. One of the rolls is to hit, and the other one is for damage type. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So let's see that. See what we get.
Yeah, I can do that.
All right. So, you want to do your rolls first?
Sure.
It is within firing range.
I'm going to shoot 6 times, of course, because why would I do any less than that? I got a 16 to hit, which will do damage to me. An 86, a 46, an 8, which will do damage to me. A 66 and a 98, but I cannot crit.
Okay, all your 86, 46, 66, and 98 all hit. So 4 of those hit. So let's see.
66 bludgeoning damage. 96 acid damage. 28 acid damage. And 96 electric damage. And I will do 55 and 6 damage to myself. So 61 points of damage to myself. I had a pen, but I think the cat ran off with it. Pencil.
So Anarchy Elephant gets a real nice stance on the pinnacle of a broken building, just proceeds to fire into bedrock. The majority of the fire goes into it and hits hard. Shell after shell after shell after shell, definitively making contact and hitting around the same spot in the ship. This is an incredibly durable ship. You know you're going to need to shoot guns all of the time to really handle this one. Anarchy, you definitely get the sense of you got to fully unleash on this thing. And you keep it up and keep up the torrent of power, and that's the best you can do. But definitely a worthy foe. All right, Pharaoh. You wanted to give off a shot from your sun staff, right?
Let's give that a shot.
Yeah, let's see that.
35.
35 will hit.
$25 damage.
What's the damage type? Fire, right?
Beam.
Oh, beam. Yep. Okay.
Yep.
All right. So you give a stick up of your sun staff. You give like a blast in it, and you notice just like how bulky this thing is, where you definitely hit it, but it's going to take a lot of damage, possibly in the same spot or something similar to handle it. Like this seems like possibly the most defensive spacecraft that any of you have seen, and that seems to be its biggest perk. Doppelganger. Unless Pharaoh, is there anything else you can do?
No, that's pretty much all I can do.
Oh, you could do technically, I think you could do a stealth roll if you wanted, because the ship itself specifically wouldn't be aware of your presence.
Yeah, let's give that a shot. 46 on stealth.
Alrighty. I will take note of that. So Doppelganger.
Can I roll a perception to see if any part of this ship is organic?
Yes. You're going to try to see if there's... I will say this will work in general for any part of the ship that's not made out of the same material.
21.
All right, looking over the ship, it looks as though the ship is consistently made out of the same material. The only sign of any kind of a weak point or a flaw in the ship or anything remote would be the place you're shooting at. You couldn't figure out anything beyond that.
I don't know that I want to do anything. How far away is the ship?
It would be within 12 squares if you would like to shoot it.
I have a caltrop launcher, but I don't know if anything's gonna set those off.
As of right now, as far as enemies being dropped from the ship, there's none immediately on your position. It looks like that's possible, but right this moment, there isn't any enemies on your position.
Okay, then we will just wait for things to get closer.
Okay, so you're gonna have a readied action with your caltrop launcher, so like as soon as you see someone, just like unload it.
Yeah.
If
Yeah,
that's what you
let's
wanted.
set that.
Okay. Alrighty. So, all of you have unloaded your barrage of attacks the best you can. From the other parts of Smooth City, you notice the other people in the city trying to do their attacks and respective abilities. You see different kinds of like laser eyes being fired, people jumping in the air and trying to hit it with their big old crab claws, and you see a few getting slapped down. Some are fighting with the ones that are being dropped down paratrooper style, while others are trying to combat the ship itself. You see a few trying to fly straight at it as well, but kind of being blasted out of the sky, or hit with the sheer force of bedrock. You can definitely see there is a united front and trying to take it down amongst the people in Smooth City. All right, so there'll be technically an enemy turn now. All right. So what's going to happen is now some troops are going to be dropped down on your position. That seems to be the first wave and how this thing handles things on the furthest reaches. Troops are going to start coming down. Some of these will provoke attacks of opportunity. So some of them will be open where they can come within range for you to try to hit them with a melee strike as they're being dropped in. I will see who specifically this triggers. Let me check this out. So some troops are going to be dropped in, and I'll say specifically Doppelganger and Pharaoh. Both of you are going to have it where at least one trooper is going to be trying to drop on your position, and you can try to give them a good old melee strike.
Well, I was ready with the caltrop launcher. Do I have to use that, or can I get the Everbleed sword out?
I believe with this being an attack of opportunity... Oh, hang on. Is the caltrop launcher two-handed? Yeah?
One hand, it says.
Is one hand. So you have the caltrop launcher. So if you had that and a sword in the other, yeah. So give a swing with the sword.
All right. 23. I'm back, y'all.
It will not work, unfortunately. Pharaoh, give me an attack of opportunity with one of your melee weapons.
Okay, so the mech suit has 2 arms deal weak bludgeoning. Can I just punch it?
Yep.
All right, let's do that. An +6. Yes, completely misses.
Yeah, unfortunately. So yeah, so those two are going to be like quick drop ones where they look like rather than kind of dropping and trying to fire from the air, these two just got dropped straight down. One of them is going to be wearing kind of like a skin tight jumpsuit kind of thing. Is going to be wearing like a bicycle helmet and is going to have like a samurai sword. And that one is going to be the one that is jumping down near Doppelganger. And it specifically is going to try to slice you as if it's trying to separate your two parts. So that is gonna. So Doppelganger, you receive 100 slashing damage as jumping down from overhead. It tries to like cut your two parts separate. And you notice it doesn't succeed, but it almost gets close from the amount of damage being dealt. As this like cold-blooded assassin kind of jumps from the sky. And Pharaoh, jumping over near your location, it looks to be a person holding a net. Looks to be like almost some kind of like a bug catcher-esque getup, like some kind of exterminator. And he's trying to give an overhead like net like over you. Let's see here. Hit. Okay. So no damage is dealt, nothing directly, but right now you are stuck in a net. And it looks to be a pretty heavy it's like a big butterfly net, but when it hit the ground, there looked to be metal spikes that kind of dug in and secured it into there. All right, now as far as rest of the enemies, besides that, you notice a bunch of enemies are going to start to be airdropped into the area. A few of them are going to try to shoot at all of you guys' positions. And you notice that a lot of shots are missed. There's a lot of misfired shots. Some of them are, so Anarchy, one of them is wide open. Rolled a 5, messed up in one of the shots. And now he's going to mess up. He's completely exposed. You can fire one clean bullet at him.
I will fire one clean bullet at him. I will fire one clean bullet at him. I got a 97 to hit. Can't crit.
Yeah, you got him.
70 damage. And that is 3 bludgeoning.
All right. So a kind of construction-looking armored alien with like a nail gun is trying to like shoot down on you, but he is wide open, floating. It does not look good. You find a clean opening. You fire a clean bullet right under the helmet, straight through the head, goes through the parachute, and he just kind of like thuds on the ground, completely toast. Many other try to rain their fire down, but all of you are either able to dodge these attacks, will bounce off the stronger parts of your armor, you know, etc., deflected by a melee weapon, what have you. A few shots are going to rain down and hit. So, Anarchy, this is going to hit you. This is going to be a barrage of fire. Oh, geez. So it looks like a lot of them noticed the damage being done to the ship from your location. In a massive amount, you're going to even hear a voice, "Fire on that man!" And you just see like a big barrage. That will be 162 beam damage as a barrage of fire rains down on Anarchy Elephant. Let's see here. So in addition to that, okay, that won't happen. All right. You notice you almost lose your balance for a second as the area you all are kind of standing on is going to start to fall apart. But a lot of the fire just seemed focused on Anarchy, but he ended up shielding enough of it with his meat, took it down. This next one, this is going to be what looks to be a clean shot, which is going to be fired towards Pharaoh looks to be a small kind of catapult type thing. Let's see here. All right, that is only going to deal 55 electric damage as you are hit with like a short-term quick catapult shock. Just kind of hits you in the chest. You feel that surge of electricity. Could have been way worse, but there's definitely hellfire raining down from the sky. Many troops are going to start to close into position as far as melee users and the like. Many of the firing squads look like they're aiming down on your position. The ship is also going to move down closer to where the party is, and it is now the player turn. Oh, I forgot something. The caltrop launcher. The caltrop launcher is going to go down, right?
Yeah.
I forgot about that.
That's okay.
Because the caltrop launcher would go off once like the enemies really start plopping in. So what's going to happen is, let's see. Yeah, some of those melee units are going to take that. So with the caltrop launcher, you got to... I'm not 100% on the rules for that one. I know it's still like a roll to hit. Is it a cone?
If I miss my target, place 1d10 by 1 squares of caltrops adjacent to them. I was thinking I'd probably just shoot it at the ground, delay them, in case they approach us, it would start hurting them.
Yeah. Okay.
And they deal 10 piercing damage to anyone that walks into a caltrop square.
10. Okay, awesome. Good to know. Because what I'm going to do is these guys are landing from the sky kind of hard. And some of them are going to land on the caltrops hard. So a lot of these guys will end up taking 20 instead.
Well, and it says making a 3x3 square area if you fire at the ground.
Okay. So if fired at the ground, 3x3, there's about 4 dudes that are going to fall on them and take 20 damage a pop. So like a net 80 damage or so on these people.
I did something.
So yeah, you're going to see a few units dropping. Ow! Oh, oof! Oh, there's a guy who lands on it wearing cleats who seems fine and just keeps marching. But a few other people, oof! Oh! My ass! Oh! It's all messed up. Okay, now it's the player turn. There seems to be enemies surrounding you. The ship is getting in closer. More focused fire would be very dangerous from a fleet this size. This might be your last chance.
Well, I think I'm gonna take a risk here. I should probably heal myself, but instead I'm going to use the decay beam.
What target would you like to use the decay beam on?
Is there a line of people in a row? Would that work?
The decay beam.
Could you all line up in a row, please? Maybe if you had charisma, you could come.
Well, okay, before I use that, are they all wearing like the stormtrooper armor?
A lot of them look to be wearing different kinds of armaments. Most of them seem to have construction type equipment. A lot of them have cybernetics, are at least fairly humanoid. Look to be wearing different kinds of like armored gear. Some of them have exposed skin, but not many of them. Oh, are you on mute?
Shit. Yes, I am. I'm sorry.
I was searching. I'm like, did my cat turn off my sound? What's going on?
No, it's me. It only works on organic creatures or structures if the target is organic, but wearing non-organic material, you must hit the organic components. Take a penalty to hit at GM discretion or be completely unable if they're covered head to toe. So should I just roll to hit?
So what I will say is there is a figure that is shirtless with a double jackhammer deal. One of the ones you saw earlier. The whole upper portion of the chest is exposed, where if you were to use a decay beam, like virtually any of the organics in the body would disintegrate. So
going after that dude.
All right.
66.
You definitely hit even the patch of skin, and this attack has a nice range. So it's real far away, but it goes real far at the end, right about as the attack is about to make contact. This jackhammer armed fiend looks up, recognizes you for a second as the one that pulled off the coat earlier. Oh no! And then the attack is going to make impact directly with the chest. No! Now give me a damage
Total
roll.
of 4d100.
Yep.
This might take me a minute.
Nice.
Oh, Jesus. Sorry, I got an 7 on the first one.
I was going
It's
to say, is
good.
it going to be under 30?
I got an 7 again.
Yeah!
Plus 76 plus 7, 170 total.
170. Hang on, I gotta think here. It might be more than that. I gotta think because let's see when it's
Well, it
lethal.
says minimum 200. So I guess
So you do
Oh my
200.
God, you should get a lot of things that have a minimum. You should just never get anything that does not have a minimum amount of damage. You just
My
rely
next
on the minimum. Don't even
character-
roll.
is gonna take a lot of thought because she seems fucking worthless right now.
So all the way at the far end of the arena down there, this jackhammered one been laid down. He was ready to go, getting all of them ready, blasted right in the organic chest. Every organic piece of anything on his body is going to disintegrate. The cybernetics in the body will not have the synergy to hold together and will simply fall over as if nothing was there holding it together in the first place.
That's all we got right now.
Well, you got one, and you definitely got a strong one, and it's down. All right. So, who'd like to go next?
I will go, but I don't know what I want to shoot at. Was there anybody in direct threat right now? I know that Shannon had a sword wielding bicyclist attacking her, and
Yep.
I can't remember what was attacking the Pharaoh.
That seemed to be some kind of an exterminator with like a large kind of like bug catcher's net that he just tried to like throw over.
Oh
Pharaoh.
yeah, the bug catcher. Those two guys around. I'm gonna go ahead and shoot at. Are either of them around?
You can try to get either of them, yeah.
Yeah. All right. I'm gonna try to hit the one with the sword because that seemed to almost split crazy two-headed lady in half. So we're gonna give it everything we got.
You have a pretty good shot where you are, considering that they were almost split in half. You actually have a good shot in between. You can try to go for that shot or try to get the. It's something where I wouldn't mention it, but in this specific case, your friend is almost like bowing in half almost. So, I think that's fair.
That
Well, shoot.
is a terrible visual.
We'll
Yeah.
take that opportunistic shot. So
That's a good.
I only hurt myself 3 times. I got a 49 to hit.
Yeah. Okay, the
Oh, wait,
49
what?
will work. You'll see that go right through, leaning a little bit to the right, but makes it through, doesn't hit your friend, and that will hit the cyclist.
Perfect. Another 49 to hit.
That will do the same.
A 10 to hit.
Do you hurt yourself
7.
on the 10?
Oh yeah. I'm gonna hurt myself 3 times. But a 77 on the 4th hit, and then a 22 and an 8. So on the 3 hits that I hit with, there's 81 damage of bludgeoning, 91 damage electrical, and 42 damage of beam. I will have done 125, 158 to myself.
All right.
However,
So
I
you
would've-
start doing. So you do that first trick shot. It goes through. The samurai readies the sword and he blocks the bullet. Second one goes through. He does not block that. Takes the full 91. Hits him square on good. Tries to do the same thing for that last shot, but you get him with that last shot as well. He looks to be
Excellent.
hanging by a thread now. He used up some defensive capability to try to stop the first round, but it looks like he doesn't have much of those left anymore. He's not doing well.
All right, so I'll take healing from the 2 shots that did damage, and my shots are paralyzing. So evasion and coordination checks are going to be minus approximately 30.
Okay. All right. So he's going to be starting to get stunned. So it looks like next effort you make to try to hit this guy, it'll probably take him out and hit. Awesome. All right. That brings us to Pharaoh.
How stuck am I in this net? Can I move? Like, move my arms, or is it my just movement-wise? Like, I can't walk, or...
So what you would want to do is probably free yourself some way in order to have movement.
Okay, I'm going to... the rooftop is broken, right? It's been shot at, and it's probably cracked and stuff?
Yes.
I'm going to fire my beam weapon down into the concrete below me, or whatever it's made out of, and try to fall through the ceiling into the like a layer below me.
Oh, okay. Give me, give me some rolls for that.
That is an +7. Oh my god.
You're gonna hit the ground. You're not gonna hit it necessarily in the best place, but considering you're firing the sun staff downward.
Yep.
So yeah, it's gonna hit. It's just
and then I got a 99.
Okay, so this is what happens. The design of the net was around those spikes sticking in the concrete to hold you down. You just blew away all the concrete that would be holding that net down on you. So you basically break away a whole bunch of the ground enough to fall through completely, and where the net doesn't do anything to you, and you slip right out of there. And you begin falling to the area beneath you, which is a little bit like an elevator shaft. Give me a roll to grab the side or grab something.
That is a 90.
All right. You absolutely latch on and grab to at least a nearby edge where you can kind of pull yourself up a little bit. Yeah, that'll work. I'll say, yeah, you don't need an athletics for that. You just kind of grab the edge, you pull yourself up, and you noticed, you see I dropped almost, you dropped about 7 feet, not enough to get hurt. Your roll to grab was pretty good, so you grabbed earlier. No fall damage, and you're kind of looking up, seeing where you would have been stuck in that net. And you see the net gets moved, and the bug catcher exterminator just kind of looks down and shakes his fist. But yeah, you're gonna make your way down there. So I'll say, let's see, that was the standard to attack, and then you went down and you did that. So technically, you could do something like a stealth check, a perception check. You could still do something like that if you want.
Let me try using a perception check to see if I can locate where the exterminator is above me, just in case in the next round I want to fire on him.
Okay, so just really, really knowing his location.
66.
All right. It seems as though he might try to do some kind of an attack down from that hole. It looks as though he might not, just ignore the situation. It looks like he definitely wants to catch you. He at least seems to have some kind of occupation around, critter catching or animal control, exterminator kind of guy. Seems to be that kind of a trade that he would serve. New facilities and stuff being made. So it seems as though we're going to try to attack down from the hole. You will gather that.
Great.
All right. So that is the party. So next will be enemies. So Bedrock is going to continue its bombardment on the surface of Smooth City, really smoothing it out entirely from all these buildings and structures. Large barrage of fire is going to begin to head towards the party. There's some misses. Anarchy Elephant. You will receive 100 beam damage as you are hit with a barrage of fire from the ship and some others.
Ha! I did more damage to myself last round.
Ends up getting, they end up blasting, not getting the best shots. So moving in is going to be some of the units here. And let's see what they do. All right, so first coming up, we got this guy who has, looks as though he has like a hammer built into his back. Where he kind of turns around and the thing slams outward. And he is going to try to give a big old hop up, and he is going to begin, along with a few others, like a few saw-armed guys. They're going to begin to try to destroy the base of the building you all are in. So they're going to damage it real bad, and they're going to begin to lie down detonators. They successfully get in the detonators, and the building is going to begin to be damaged. It does not fall over, but you all noticed, up a thing, and they're going to begin to do that. A few other shots are going to be fired. Pharaoh, you can just see the shots being fired from overhead, even just through that hole. Like, you can see laser fire. Shots from nail guns, like catapults. Staple guns, like constructive equipment, just being fired around everywhere. You saw a screwdriver or two. Doppelganger, this shot is going to be at you. You are going to receive 55 beam damage as you take a hefty shot down the midsection. You see more of this barrage of fire going off just from some of the enemies on the side. The melee guys are going to begin to kind of work in, most of them breaking down the tower. Let's get this bug catcher guy. Cyclist. All right. So, the bug catcher guy, he is going to try to jump down the hole and get down there. He tries to pull off a similar maneuver that you did, but he's going to grab, like, the opposite side. So he's going to be, like, a few squares away on the other side of the elevator shaft. And he's going to kind of, like, drop down, make contact, and it looks like he's going to pull out some kind of a tranquilizing gun. He's going to try to see how that works. Does an 80... Oh, yeah, that should hit an 86.
He's like the animal control officer. Picking up strays.
So you will receive 44 piercing damage, and you'll begin to start feeling.
So this is going through the mech suit first, right? So
this is something where it's gonna... Oh, that's right. You have the full-on mech, so it's gonna... So, yeah, so this won't hit... It won't hit any of its effects. It'll just do 44 damage to your mech. Yeah, this isn't going to pierce it. It didn't do enough damage. Your mech's got too much health. All right, so you got a feeling of, oh, that was a close one. And you see him give a little bit of a grin and starts to reload. Now I want to deal with that ninja fella over here. All right, so Doppelganger. This ninja in front of you, he's going to try to give a bunch of swings with his blade, but between what Anarchy did and a bit of those zaps are lingering a bit. His accuracy ain't too fresh. He's swinging around, he's missing. 21's not going to be enough to hit you, even kind of split in half. So you see some stabs and thrusts going towards where your body was split in half, so just misses from the very cut he made. And it's not looking good. The prime of this fighter seems to be behind him as he fails. It is now the player turn. It looks as though more units are being dropped. The bottom of your tower is going to detonate momentarily. More forces are coming in. More laser fire is being brought down. What do you all do?
If I do my healing touch, does that provoke any opportunity attacks?
If you do healing touch to what?
Myself.
I can go before you and try to take the guy out before you touch yourself.
Okay, that sounds good.
That's true. Oh, you're gonna try to do that trick shot again?
Yeah, of course. Multiple times. No, there's I'm gonna take a couple shots at 2 shots at the swordsman, and the exterminator jumped down the hole, huh?
Yeah, he's kind of down the hole where you guys can't him.
So I'm gonna shoot. So I'm gonna take 3 shots at the swordsman. I'm gonna take 3 shots blindly through the roof into the hole area. So like I can't shoot directly into the hole, so I'll shoot the roof into the area where I think the hole goes into. So I'm just going to be shooting blindly into that area. Yeah. So that's what I'll do. So let's do 3 shots at the swordsman.
All right.
I didn't hurt myself at all that time. I got a 62 to hit, a 52 to hit, and a 36 to hit.
All right. So all of those would hit. So the first shot comes on through. You see him deflect it with the samurai sword, ready to go.
Oh, that was the good one, too.
Second shot.
87 poison damage.
All right. Yeah. That one's going to go through and get him. You're going to see him wobbling right around on his last leg, lifts up his sword again, gets it pointed and tilted, ready to go, hanging on the last leg. Final shot.
It was a 36 to hit for 54 poison damage.
You see her give a real hard swing over to the left, like a left horizontal slice, gets shot around in the chest, takes a few steps back, drops her sword, and falls backwards off the tower.
Excellent.
That one is down.
And 3 shots blindly into the hole area.
Okay. All right. I'm going to try to figure a way to do this. Let me draw the hole. Let me figure a thing out. Okay. All right. Okay, give me
the angle of the dangle is inversely proportional to the heat of the meat. I learned that in geography class. So.
The heat of the meat.
Oh, I got that from Beavis and Butthead in like 1993. The angle of the dangle is inversely proportional to the heat of the meat.
All right. Yeah. Let's see some rolls.
A 39 to hit.
Okay,
a 62 to hit. And then the third hit was a 92, or the third shot was a 92 to hit.
Okay, so a 39, a 62, and a 92. Okay, yes. You know what? If you could give me a roll being a perception roll, so that you know where did my friend go, where's this other guy, because neither of them are stealthing. So I think that would be helpful.
I got an 85 for my perception.
Okay, so you've got like a good idea. So I got this. So you
I always
head
have
on
one
down.
Eye on that cat.
You're right over to the hole. You do the 39 shot. That one almost leans more towards Pharaoh, and Pharaoh, you hear it ping off over near the wall next to you, but doesn't hit you. The second shot is going to go pretty close and majorly in the direction of this exterminator. Doesn't hit him, but you hear like a little bit of a cuss as the ricochet of the bullet goes. Your third shot, you heard where he yelled. You got a good aim. So with your 92 and your bonus with the guy way wedged in the corner, you absolutely hit him dead on with that last shot.
That'll do 81 poison damage.
All right. So that one, you got a big old slap shot. Doesn't fall down completely done, but now is like very damaged.
He'll be minus 22 evade and coordination.
All right. Good stuff. Why don't we do Pharaoh next? This exterminator took a good shot to the chest and is now less evasive and whatnot. Less coordination.
All right, so I'm going to try firing on him, and I got 47.
Oh, yeah.
With 43 damage.
Okay.
And I know that this building is going to blow up, so I decide I'm going to quickly try to get to the bottom of this elevator shaft and try to find the front door.
Okay. Few questions here. Do you have cat's legs? Like the function cat's legs? Okay. Just want to check with that quick. Okay, so give me a coordination check, and I'll say you use your double move to do the best you can to find some kind of opening, exit, etc., like out of
73.
Okay. So with your coordination, you manage to kind of slink your way around where you do find an opening on the lower portion of the tower, where if you scale down it, you shouldn't be taking any fall damage. That would be about the end of your turn, so you just hope as long as there's not an immediate explosion. Actually, I will say this. You have two options. If you want to get absolutely out of dodge, you can do so, but you're going to risk fall damage. If you want to try to not risk that and play your chances with the bomb going off, you can try to wait till afterwards and not take the fall.
Let's just wait.
You all know it's going to blow up soon. You're just not sure how soon. Okay. So you use your double move where you find a perfect spot to pretty much drop where next turn, if you coordinate perfectly, you will land fine and then be able to run away.
Yeah,
so you're like readying a great escape. Okay. You slink down and you ready your great escape. Doppelganger.
Am I able to heal myself now?
Yes, you can heal yourself now. You do not have any enemies directly in front of you.
Okay, I do that. And then for my movement, can I get to the elevator shaft?
Yes.
I will do that.
You can, in fact, try to double move to get further down as well. Because the elevator's messed up. It's a matter of kind of just slinking your way down a hole at this point.
Okay, then I would like to do that. I don't want to take fall damage, so I will do it carefully and stand next to Pharaoh if that's possible.
Okay, give me, because you can see the hole, give me a coordination check to kind of make your way down carefully.
95!
All right, you make it down carefully, you don't take any fall damage, and you start working your way down closer to where Pharaoh is. You're not exactly there, because Pharaoh's had more movement to drop, but you're getting closer, kind of following the area and the sounds of the scratchies. All right. So everyone is gone, right?
Yeah, I just plan on riding the building down.
All right, you're gonna ride it down. All right. So now what's gonna happen is the surrounding enemies that were in before, you're gonna notice they're gonna kind of back up a little bit and try to form like a perimeter around this building. You notice other buildings have a similar thing where they're being surrounded and detonated. Not all of them, but like particular ones. So this one is getting ready to be detonated. So yeah, I will say enemy turn is the rest of them backing up and getting out of there. Shots being fired down. That being said, Pharaoh and Doppelganger are deep enough in the building where these shots will not be affecting you. Because you're like super deep down the bottom, wedged under some of the bulkier pieces with the rain coming from up top. So with these troops kind of moved out and stopping releasing these paras, there's going to be some shots fired down on Anarchy, and you're going to see a lot of the guns are going to begin to aim over at Anarchy, making his way out, seemingly on a platform next to Bedrock. There is a large, muscular figure clad in black armor, wearing a mask of death and a cape, moving his way forward, manipulating some kind of metal in his hand, which seems to shift between being a sword, a giant key, a crowbar, different kinds of metal contraptions being morphed into his hands. He looks down at the building about to be detonated, and seems to specifically bring himself over to Anarchy. Seems to be communicating with him.
I am the great communicator of the group.
Every single one of my guns is about to fire on you. Do you?
Wait, you're right here too, right?
You are about to be blown away off the face of this world. And I don't know if you have a serious bone in your body, but I'm giving you a chance to show one before all of you are taken away. You're very resilient, and this is the only reason I take a moment to speak.
He's talking to Elephant, so we are screwed.
You notice like all the troopers are kind of like moving away. All the weapons seem to be focused specifically on you. A lot of the other resistance from the side seems to kind of be faltering. And there seems to be a focus dead centered on Anarchy. You've done some damage to my ship. My ship is needed for a very necessary quest. I'll give you a moment. He turns his back for a second, morphing the steel in his hands.
Oh, if he turns his back for a second, I'll shoot him in the back.
Okay, go for it. Yeah. I will say, just you have one moment to try to let off one shot early at him. So it's technically your turn, but you can try to clip one off at him.
Let's do it.
You see him trying to extend like a noble hand, and you're like, nah, dude, and you see an opening. It's right there. Go for it.
I got a 94 to hit and crit.
All right, got a 94 to hit. Awesome. So let's see the damage and the damage type.
That would do 80 cold damage.
80 cold damage. Okay. All right. So you're going to see that shot hits him kind of like in his lower abdominal area, to which he quickly kind of like clenches it, kind of like buckles over. You're going to see him get up after a little bit, and he's going to start punching the injury site, at which point you receive 80 cold damage as you feel a pain in a similar area radiate over your body.
That'll negate all the healing I got from that shot. What an ass.
So after that, even though he's wearing a mask, you can tell there's just disgust in him. Fire! Every single gun beaten on Anarchy Elephant is going to begin just firing downward. I get to see how many of these hit. Oh, geez, okay. All right, I got to do some math. So, a massive barrage of fire is going to be very focused on Anarchy, and it is just going to be blistering light, like raining downward. The whole, like, everything goes dark before everything is blistering light, and then everything goes calm again. The damage fired downward. So Anarchy Elephant, you are going to receive 447 beam damage. Are you still standing?
Yes.
Oh my god.
So with you still standing, Anarchy, because of the girth of your body and the damage you're taking, your friends below do not take damage. They're beneath your location with, like, hellfire going downward. You just meted up, like, all of it. Like, just took it all. So I'll say the structure's not doing very good. I will say, let's see here. Okay, you know what? I think that works. That works. All right, so that's the rain of fire goes down, and then we're going to deal with the exterminator, because he's the last one in the building. He's the last one there. All right, so the exterminator is going to look over to Pharaoh, seeing his situation, and you're going to see him pull out a taser kind of weapon. And he gives up like a kind of a nasty grin. You can see like all these different kind of sharpened gold teeth in his mouth. And what he's going to try to do, he is going to try to run at you and lunge at you with a taser, is what it looks like he's trying to do. All right, so let's see how this works. All right, he's going to run. He does his thing. He tries to give a jump. He almost messes up completely, but he's going to make it to the other side. And he is going to try to stick you with the taser, grab you, and do a follow-up. He's going to see how well this works. All right. He's going to try to jab you with the taser, and it is not going to work. Like you managed to get out of the way. Let me double check. What's the evasion of your mech?
35.
Yeah, I still missed you. Okay, just wanted to make sure. He tries to give a jab on with this taser and just completely messes up. I think that completes his turn. He can't do anything else. He just ran over and went for a big move, and he's right in front of you. Oh, I think it's player turn. Player turn, and then everything blows up.
I can't wait for everything to blow up.
I will do the Everbleed sword at the dude that tried to attack Pharaoh.
Okay.
96, but I can't crit.
Okay. So you might need to get... Okay, so if you try to get a bit over to him, you can't crit. Yeah, you could probably get up to around where he's at from underneath. It's going to be an awkward position because it'll kind of be from underneath, but you will hit. Give me a damage roll.
41.
All right. Okay. Some pitching, your positioning is a little different, so I think you're gonna manage to hit. It's gonna get shanked over with that sword, whether you're coming from behind where Pharaoh is or underneath, what have you. Picturing it's a weird shaft you gotta kind of move your way through and stuff. But yeah, that sword attack's gonna cleave through. You're gonna see him take a minute and just kind of look down at his injury, and looking back up again. He's just like barely standing on his feet properly.
And it's not much, but he'll take 10 damage every round until his wound is patched up.
Okay. So he's like bleeding out and paralyzed and everything else. Yeah, you know what? That's going to be enough where he's going to bleed out, lose his balance. He has no coordination, and he's going to fall over the back, down the elevator shaft, just all kind of cut up and just down. He was practically standing on an edge anyway, so I figure, yeah, he's done. All toasted.
Well, if he's dead, I want to get the F away from this building.
Okay. So you can use, Doppelganger, where you're at, you can use the remainder of your movement and whatever you got left to kind of fling yourself out of the building, but you know you're going to take some kind of fall damage doing so.
Do I know how much fall damage?
Nope. It's very last minute. You know it's either this or a whole building blowing up.
All right, F it. Let's do it.
All right. Okay, so what I will say is, let me see. You're flinging yourself out of there. I would say give me a roll to try to land the best you can. I just think it's a normal roll, like not even in athletics. Like you're essentially just trying to aim yourself where you break the least of your own body, essentially.
41.
All right, 41. You fling yourself out of the top over there. Let's see here. Let's see what you take. Wow. You only take 50 bludgeoning damage. You lucked out pretty good.
I'll take it.
You duck and tumbled nice. The damage roll was very low. You duck and rolled pretty nice. Seems to be okay.
It's that new mobility, with a little bit of us split apart.
Yeah, a little bit of difference. All right, Pharaoh, what do you do?
I am going to get the hell out of here.
All right, so you're going to use pretty much the whole of this to attempt to land. Take as little damage as possible with everything that you've prepared.
Yep.
All right. So with very educated timing, you jump out the port. Give me a roll. You will get a bonus to this.
98.
All right. With it being a 98, you absolutely take no damage and you drop out perfectly fine. You are fine. Perfectly fine. Clean landing, and I will also say you are a distance away enough where if the bomb blows up, no debris, no nothing will hit you. You know at least you will be fine.
That's all I care about.
All right.
Well, maybe doppelganger, but that's about it.
Anarchy.
So, this guy in the black armor, what happened to him?
He took the shot, commanded the ship to fire, and then kind of wanted to head back in, wanted to do a little bit of a nobility thing. Also, I just want to double check, I'm trying to check with this turn. I think this turn was you shot a bunch, and then, right? Did you? Oh, wait, you haven't gone yet on this turn, have you?
Uh-uh.
Okay. So, Yeah, he's going back inside the ship, like after taking that shot. You are now, yeah, what is left in front of you is you don't know where your allies are. The building is bound to detonate, and there is a ship above you that's been firing at you.
Well, I'm still. Oh shit! I don't think I can heal anything by hitting the ship. So I could try to take out I could try to shoot the ship, and take the explosion damage because I planned on kind of riding the explosion out. However, I did take quite a bit of damage, and I'm actually more than halfway damaged. Oh boy. Are there any? Are the bad guys are all pretty much cleared out? Are there?
It looks as though since there's some enemies, but they would be incredibly hard to hit. They seem to be forming a perimeter, kind of like further around to take care of any scragglers after, like, kind of the whole city being.
How far up is the ship, and how did the black armored guy retreat?
It seems as though he came out of some part of the ship that wasn't fully clear. Almost looked like he kind of phased into it. It's not 100% what the shield's made out of, but he's also been shown to kind of manipulate steel, so could be something similar. Yeah, he's currently inside of the ship. It looks like a whole bunch of offensive things are about to happen.
All right, so I'm thinking probably the best thing for me is to get off the ship, or take it off the building. So if there aren't any closer buildings that I think I could jump off to, I'll just jump off to the side of the building and plummet. How far is this building? How many stories?
Pretty high. I'm trying to think exactly, but pretty damn high. Like, it's not like an extremely tall skyscraper or anything. Like, a chunk of the building was kind of leveled off. I'd like to imagine it's a few stories high. So
you know what? I can do this. I'm going to just dive off the side of the building and land on the street below.
All right. You do a big dive down the side of the building. You receive 200 bludgeoning damage.
And I think as I'm going down the building, I might as well just shoot blindly in the air, at this ship if it's overhead, and might be pretty easy to hit. I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm going to jump and shoot.
Okay. You're going to jump off and shoot. All right. Let's see some damage.
Excellent. Let's do some rolls. I'm going to hurt myself a couple of times. I got a 59 to hit, an 11 to hit, a 68 to hit, a 10 to hit, a 77, and a 59.
The like 2 59s, and there was like another one that was good. There was 3 of them that hit.
All right. It'd be 59. There were 2 59s, a 68, and a 77. So
Yep. The 70.
So 78, 78 acid, 99 electric, 75 piercing. I don't think I've had that one yet. And 23 electric. And I will do not very much damage to myself. 44 damage to myself. Along with 200 damage dropping.
Yep, 200 damage from the plummet.
And let's see where I'm at there. Oh yeah, I'm still up.
All right. So that's... Okay, so here's the situation before this detonator goes off. The enemies are a bit far off in the distance, not where they're any kind of immediate threat. Might even be possible to slink past, depending on other endeavors. Pharaoh is in the safest distance, safest away, where he is just exactly out of the explosion zone. Anarchy is pretty damn close to where the explosion zone is going to be. You're not directly in front of it. You have enough of a jump, but it wasn't enough to completely carry you past it. So it's something where Pharaoh's furthest distance, Anarchy's closest, and around in the middle, but still leaning more towards closer, would be Doppelganger, who landed like very clean, but still is very close into the blast. So that being said, the explosion is about to go off. essentially what everyone has left, I believe, is their swift actions, because movements and standards and all that other stuff has been done. So essentially any minor, itsy bitsy baby tiny things you want to do in efforts, now is your chance.
Can I run towards Pharaoh, further away from the blast?
You already used your movement.
Damn. Okay. Swift action. That's right.
It would be like, there's like a few examples I'm thinking of, but I also don't want to give away tactics. That's like where I'm at right now. But it's something where people do have swifts left, so I want to just make sure people use them if they want.
No, I'm good. I'm just gonna stand here and take it, I guess.
I've got a question.
Okay. Yep.
For some reason, I had it in my mind that Dracula would only work if you do damage to an organic being, but it doesn't actually. It's just damage to the target.
Yep.
Hit. Did the damage that I did to that ship actually do damage?
Yes.
Okay. Heal me up fairly well. And if I have any other actions, I'll try to get away from the building as much as I can.
Okay. Like essentially what everyone has left is, with it being like a long fall and trying to get distance on top, that would be one's movement. And a lot of the times cashing in both to get real good distance at times. Also, usually when hitting the ground, a lot of people end up being prone, needing to take... Oh, yeah, that's right. It's actually a swift to get up from the prone, so I don't think anyone has a swift. And they had to use their movements to hop out. And you use your standard firing.
I would have used one to jump off the building. So movement?
Yeah. It was your movement was jumping off the building. Your swift would be getting back to you. And then your standard was shooting. Yeah. I just wanted to figure it out. So yeah, I think everyone used theirs. All right, so let me have this thing blow up, and I'll see what we're looking at. Okay, I gotta do some.
I'm gonna have a whole calculator up, trying to figure out how much I do damage, then how much I heal, and how much damage.
Yeah. Where did I plop out? Towers exploding?
You said you needed to figure out how it was going to work with it exploding.
Oh, yep. I had it down. I realized I described it before, but it was during a glitch. But yeah. So anyway, the explosive device at the base of the tower is going to explode. This is going to detonate. A bunch of debris from the ground will be kicked upward. The tower itself is going to collapse downward. This is going to be a pretty ridiculous amount of damage between all these things going on. So first, we will deal with the damage being taken by Anarchy. So Anarchy, due to all the things going down, this is going to be typeless damage. So this won't go into any kind of immunities or anything like that. You will receive 677 damage. Being very, closest to the detonator itself, the ground being kicked up, pieces of stuff flying at you. And Doppelganger. Let's see here. You are also going to be close. You're a little bit further away. You will take a certain percentage. So, Doppelganger. You receive 337 typeless damage.
Let me know when you want my death scene.
All right. I think that's where we're at right now is the detonator goes off and we're going to see what the fate of the two caught in the blast are. So why don't we go into that, because the tower is going to explode. All this is going to be detonated. The two of you caught in the blast will be in a reasonable sized crater. We are now at death scene time.
So imagine in kind of a slow-mo. Go ahead.
Okay. Anarchy Elephant is once he lands, as he's falling down this side of the building, shooting up at the building, or shooting up at the ship, he's actually healing some of the damage as he's falling, as he damages the ship, and he lands. It takes a considerable amount of damage, and he looks pretty worse for wear at the bottom. He doesn't have any actions left to go anywhere, and so the building explodes, and shrapnel and fire and all this stuff everywhere, and there's just shit going through Anarchy Elephant and bone fragments and blood and shit like that. And he actually is reduced to below 0 hit points. But Die Hard would kick in at the point of 0 and leave him standing in the middle of the crater with 1 hit point.
All right. But then when you look over to your ally Doppelganger,
as I pull Doppelganger's face,
okay, so rewind a little bit and imagine in slow motion the twins skittering as fast as they can away. And you also see Anarchy Elephant slowly falling down behind them. When the building explodes, a piece of shrapnel actually severs them, and they are now 2 instead of 1. As they lay there dying, gasping for their last breath, bleeding out of shrapnel wounds, they reach out for each other's hands, and with their final breath are staring into each other's eyes, not happy to be separated. Oh, we're dead.
all right. So Pharaoh, how do you react to it blows up, the dust settles, and you see what's left?
Well, since he was dependent on Doppelganger. What? No! No! And he just starts like shooting off whatever he's got like from his staff in random places. And then just like a cat, he turns his tail and walks away. Like he just doesn't care. Like he gave his crap and now he's done.
All right. As you begin to like walk off, you notice that circle of the reclaimers kind of clenches up, all with their different equipment standing shoulder to shoulder. And they just seem to stand firm as the circle kind of begins to enclose. You manage to walk off a good level before it happens, but you notice, uh-oh, what's this? So what does the Pharaoh do?
He's going to eject out of his mech and try to cover himself with the debris from the fallen buildings that surround him. Mm-hmm. Try to save his own skin.
Okay. So you're starting to come up with a plan. All right. So let's go over to Anarchy. So I will say, Anarchy, you are alive. You can feel yourself buried beneath the ground. It is time to fight to the surface. You're not super deep, but there was so much stuff that came down. You're like in the dirt. You're fine, but you gotta bury through that before you suffocate. So, give me a roll, basically being like a strength roll, to essentially try to work your way up through the dirt. You can also give me another roll just to see if it's a crit success, a crit fail, etc.
All right, let's make a roll. I got a 70. It's not bad.
Yeah, that's pretty good. And give me a roll just to see if it would be like a crit success, crit fail, anything like that, just in case.
An 88.
Yeah, okay. So you're going to start getting yourself out of the dirt, and it looks like you're having a pretty good time with it. Over the time of what would be a turn, like a 6-second time, whatever it is you like realizing, okay, I'm not dead, get yourself into a good position, and then you just start digging yourself out of the ground. And at the end, you are now poking out of the ground. You're not completely out, but like you're pretty much from the midsection up, you are out of the ground now. And then you will see the level of destruction that's everywhere and just all around the landscape. So that being said, the ship Bedrock is going to begin to slowly bring itself down to the surface. Walking out of a massive drawbridge coming down from the bottom of the ship is going to be the Ring General in all of his splendor. His very large frame, clad in black armor, wearing a mask of death, cape draped over his shoulders and manipulating steel in various forms, almost nervously in his hands. He marches his way down the long platform with steam behind him as he seems to make his way towards Anarchy, halfway buried in the dirt.
Shit.
So, like, halfway poking out of the dirt, the first thing you see is his boots just kind of stand right, left, one after the other, pressed up against each other tightly in a very uniform, militaristic way. And looking down on you is the ring general.
Hold on there. Let me get out of here. Let me just catch my breath. I'll be fine. I'm ready to go.
Face it, you've lost. But this doesn't have to be the end of it. I've lost a lot of my forces trying to reclaim this place. I could use someone like you. Resilient. Unwavering. Unforgiving. Without as much blackness in his heart. Someone who just does. That should have killed you. What I've done should have killed you. You should be dead.
Yeah, well, I'm a badass. Let me pick up my spleen. I seem to have left it in the hole.
Medics! Get this man patched up.
Hey, while you're at it, maybe you can look for my little kitty friend. And, two-headed lady. Right. I didn't see where she went. But then I'm going to be ready, just as soon as I catch my breath.
All right. Two of the reclaimers use their tools to get you out of the ground. You notice that their touch is very nice. They are not being rough with you. They're being very gentle and tender with you. They're making sure to, like, really care for the injuries, to make sure, like, oh, his spine's in the wrong place, boss. He's busted the whole thing. It's like, they're talking about how they need to, like, reconstruct your skeleton. Everything's in the wrong place. They had a hard time identifying what kind of creature you were due to all the bones being in different places. So basically, seriously, you're being like that. Yeah.
What kind of guys are these?
So specifically, I was imagining there was one that had different.
Go on, I'm sorry.
One of them has different kinds of chisels integrated into his fingers, his knuckles, his shoulders and elbows, and he was kind of like digging around, getting the almost literal elbow grease in there, and trying to intricately kind of chisel you out. And then the one that helped to set the bomb earlier, the one that has like a hammer built into his back, he also seems to be helping, kind of wailing down on some of the earth to, like, loosen it in some areas, while the other one's kind of chiseling away. Kind of doing a hammer and chisel until they can get you out.
Yeah, I was trying to figure out if they were just like peons or non-peons, because I heal better by just destroying things on my own. So, yeah.
So
my plan was to scamper off into an alley and just start shooting bums until I healed myself back up.
Yeah, at this point, you notice that being a difficult strategy, as there is a circle of the reclaim starting to sound. The bedrock's looming in closer with its drawbridge down. Anarchy Elephant is basically taken into their medical facility aboard the ship for healing. Put in, like, an advanced containment chamber so that he doesn't try anything tricky. And it looks as though they are also fixing him with some kind of a shock collar around his neck type apparatus. They seem to be affixing something as like a safety measure. And it's like all the while when you're down at 1 health, just like completely jacked up, and they make sure, okay, get the collar on, do this. Okay, now heal him up. Keep him in a protective chamber. And all the while, the ring general speaks about how, like, the journey is too precious, what we have to do. I'll speak to you on it if you wish to hear. But we have great things to accomplish. I've lost my numbers trying to take Smooth City. Thus, I need to grow my numbers and reclaim for my cause. I imagine. So why don't we go over to Doppelganger here? So Doppelganger has been like incinerated away, kind of washed away. Does Doppelganger have any other family, anything like that? Any kind of other outside connections that might have a response to the death? I think this might be a good time for that before we go into
No. I was
Okay.
trying to make everyone my mom and my dad. I think that maybe people are running around Smooth City in burlap cheesy poof dresses, but other than that, we're all alone.
It started to catch on after this conflict. I imagine it's something that people started to wear, and during the defense, people kind of took it up after seeing the fashion show. So you know what? I will go into something for you in the little epilogue piece we'll hit in a second. That's pretty much where we're at. Pharaoh, you're trying to make your way out, correct?
Correct.
All right. So how do you wish to try to get on out?
I'm gonna kind of slink through the shadows and through the debris and try to get back to what could be left of his headquarters and try to get information from his network of cats, see if there's any place that is available for them to all hide in.
Okay, so you're trying to find some place, some way to try to get out of this ring of people and hide away.
Mm-hmm.
At this stage, it looks like it might have to be done by force. The ring's pretty tight. It looks like they've already taken Anarchy Elephant aboard the ship. I imagine where this decision-making process is you saw Anarchy recently being taken aboard.
Yep.
And you notice Doppelganger is like completely out of the picture. And the ring of people are basically tightening, and it looks like they're kind of going through the city, getting any kind of stragglers, whatever the case. So you don't have any kind of a straight shot to like a hideaway. It would have to be a matter of deal with something, come up with a plan. The things within the circle of enemies there's the circle of enemies itself, and then there is bedrock. Besides that, there is a crater in the ground. There's not too much outside of that. So those are kind of the three major options here.
Well, let's try to fight our way out.
Okay. How would you like to do so? Whereabouts would you like to be looking?
As far away as we can from the crater that we're next to. Just heading he can try to remember which was the way back to the headquarters, but if that's not possible, then he's just going to try to get past the line of reclaimers then.
You know the general direction of the least resistance as far as, all right, you have to head through the ring, but if there's an area, if you do so, it looks like a much better shot. But I will say, give me a perception roll to find the best route. The path where you might have maybe the most cover.
I got a 6.
All right, you have no idea. All you know is that ring is getting tighter, and you're not sure how friendly they're going to respond to you. So you got to do something.
Yep. Well, he is only looking out for himself right now, so he doesn't really care about the risks as long as he is safe, and he's going to just keep going.
All right. You're going to keep going. You're going to head straight. You're going to see a cyborg where the arms are built almost something you would see on like a large crane, and the head is robotic, but all the rest is organic, kind of strongman style, no shirt, construction boots. Gives you a look. He's got like a few people kind of behind him supporting him. Hey, you're not supposed to be over here.
I'm supposed to be wherever I want to be. Now, please, your dark master allowed me to walk where I will.
Are you here to be reclaimed?
Are you here to be recycled?
That doesn't compute. Get him, boys! He signals over to a cyborg that has some whips built into his arms, and he's just going to be kind of like cracking them around. Seems to have this kind of like the head of a serpent, long kind of forked tongue and a tail, and he's going to kind of make his way back and forth. They form a smaller circle where it's just you and this guy, and he's kind of walking his way back and forth, just kind of hissing and saying stuff to himself. After a little bit of time, he's going to try to reach out and whip at you multiple times, but misses every shot between that keen cat step you have. You got that 50 that 35 EVA rather. That's still enough where, wait, are you in the suit or out?
I'm out. So I have an EVA of 70.
Okay, yeah. Every single one of these things is missing you clean. So he attempts to do multiple whip cracks at you, and every single one does nothing. At this point, you see your opening to attack.
Yeah, with the 77, I bring out my, or I use my sun staff on him. Mm-hmm. And that is a 79 damage with Everbleed.
Okay. The flaming blast crusts over the reptilian hunter. You see him give a big old wide-mouthed snarl before being engulfed by the flames. You can smell like the scales kind of being fried away and darkening after being attacked by the flaming torrent. After that, he is going to try to lunge forward and grab you. Does not work out very well. You have that evasion on your side. He continues to try to do some kind of roundhouse kicks and attacks with the whips, attacks from low and high, using that inertia and spinning ways to try to get you. But once again, you remain too evasive. Tries to give that long extended reach at you, like a very precise attack, and literally misses you by a singular point of evasion, as it almost hits you directly between the eyes, but you have focus. You are not faltering. It does not hit you. You find your opening to attack.
Going to do the same thing with an 89 to hit and a 76 damage.
All right. You give the next blast of your sun staff, just continuing after all the flashiness, and just hit him with that torrent of attacks. You see that damages heavily, might not be able to take another attack of that magnitude. Almost falls completely onto all fours. Grabbing his chest, breathing up and down heavily. You notice that a bunch of steam is going to start to emanate within the cracks and sides of this being's body. After that, it's going to pump up to a much more large muscular form and look incredibly energized. It is then going to try to flat out run and kind of give you like a football tackle over. Let's see, that's a 79. And let's see, damn it. All right, so that is going to be 67 bludgeoning damage, where he's just going to try to hit you with like kind of a spear tackle. Doesn't hit you fully clean with it. It's enough where you're able to move where you don't take the brunt, but you take some of it and do get like knocked over a little. But it looks like the fight's continuing. Looks like he's going to try to follow up and do a ground pound, but you slip out from underneath with your evasion.
So when he did that 60 hit point damage, bludgeoning does affect him. So yeah, he's dead.
Oh, he just took the hard move and went down.
Yep.
All right. So Pharaoh's gonna take that final move, end up going down. I think from there the group's gonna look him over and look over the body. So tell me, by how many points were you killed?
6.
Okay, so they're gonna examine your body. He's gonna kind of grab you, wrap you up with his things. He's gonna hand you over to the one with the robotic head and the arms. He's gonna hold you, scan you with his head a little bit. This body is salvageable. This is workable for the cause. Let's take him. Let's reclaim him. Let's recycle him. Ha 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 ha. Haha, I made a funny. He proceeds to kind of carry the body along. You notice that there's a similar case with any of the bodies that weren't destroyed by a ridiculous degree are being grabbed and kind of reclaimed, being carried on board the ship. So the last two things we'll do here with the epilogue is, I imagine as the ship is closing up and starting its takeoff off into the stars, around this time is when Dre Rhodes makes her way over to the spot of the impact, like hearing about everything that went down, and I imagine sees what is left of Doppelganger. And I imagine she has her normal expression of still like very cold as she normally is, but she still gives like a respectful stare off over to the spot. The dust kind of gently kicks up around, making these kind of massive Nautilus shell swirls in the air. And she just kind of like stares off for a moment, kind of running her hands through the sands a little bit of what was once a big center and the hub of Smooth City. And I imagine she's going to take a bit and do her little runway shtick, but there's not as much of the marvelous explosions behind her. It's much more light, much more gentle, and she's going to proceed to take a march around the city. A few others maybe watch and spectate, few other joins, but it's something that she's doing not for anyone else, just like everything else in life. And she continues that march, at least over the time of her grieving. Last thing we'll hit here with the credits, we have our ship up in the cosmos. We have Anarchy Elephant. So Anarchy Elephant, we'll say when last thing we'll have here, when you're all healed up, you're over in your chamber. Looks to be highly technological, and it looks like they're aware of the kind of damage you're capable of. And they have some real fun things that I imagine you like to mess with. Let's see how good your security is. Just messing with it, but it's very strong. It's probably like a game to you, but there's that kind of a dynamic going on. So last thing we'll have here is the Ring General's gonna approach you in your chambers. After some time. Anarchy, there is something we must talk about.
I hate talking.
Oh, you wish
Go
for me
on.
to leave?
No, I'm in a bit of a bad predicament here, so I gotta listen to you talk so I can figure out what my next opportunity for escape will be. Did I say that out loud?
I know your intentions, but I need your power right now. You see, I need the pirate's gold. That is why I'm here. I have been told in fairy tales, told by my mother, of the pirate's gold off in the cosmos. And it shall be mine, and it belongs to me. It is the last echo of fantasy held within my heart. And it is why I'm here. Take with it what you may, my brooding nature, what have you. It is what I am. And I need you to obtain the pirate's gold.
Oh, sure. You can count on me.
Who knows?
Obviously, patronizing him.
There might be something in it for you. Have you ever heard this tale of the pirate's gold?
I don't listen to fairy tales.
I think we all used to, one point or another. Well, I will say, we managed to reclaim one of your friends.
Oh, which one?
The Pharaoh. The kitty cat.
Oh, yeah? Where is he?
He's currently in our rejuvenation chambers. We are trying to bring him back to his former glory. He is someone whom, sheerly off of his core beliefs and philosophy and how he's carried himself, I think will be necessary.
He hasn't told me this, but I know that he really wants fur again. Long, luxurious, petable fur.
That could be a treasure.
Oh,
I know he
and a little necklace with a bell on it.
Good talk. I'll leave you to test my security measures. Off with you. He's gonna proceed to just kind of like walk through his thing. You're off in your room, and over in a rejuvenation tank, we have the Pharaoh kind of floating around in some green liquid with like a face mask on with some biotubes, just chilling in some ooze. And this will be the last thing we'll leave us on is Pharaoh. What are your last thoughts as you slowly gain consciousness floating around in a green tube?
I don't want fur.
And I think that's a good place to end. Yeah, it went on a little longer than what I thought it was, but that is fine. I imagine that is the gauntlet there. I was trying to make it a two-parter, but I think I turned it into a three-parter again.
That's okay. I can make a better character.
That is all good. I did really like the whole thing with Doppelganger of like there seemed to be a constant to like form like a family unit and then being like a part of like a structure, and then you finally got it, and then shortly after was like when it getting completely torn apart.
Yeah, I forgot to add that. At least we died with a mom and a dad. Oh well. Good stuff.
It still worked out real good. So yeah, that is where we are going to leave off. I'll do a continuation. I don't know when, probably next month, whatever the case. The wrap up of this is definitely going to be shorter because I've hit a lot of the beats of the story here. So I hit that. And yeah, things went a little unexpected, but it is working. Yeah, so next session will be the Pirate's Gold, which is the name of what he wants, but also the physical name of the location. Essentially like a planet of treasure and gold and molten steel and like a vast like treasure reserve kind of thing. It's the best way I can kind of explain it. So yeah,
Sounds good to me.
Yeah, that's all I got to say. So if people want to use the same characters, awesome. If there's new characters coming in, feel free to send them just so I can give them a good old look over. And we can do the finale of this next month. So yeah, expect like big kind of cool sci-fi piratey treasure hunt. Cool treasure stuff.
I'll watch Ice Pirates in preparation.
Ice Pirates?
I haven't watched that since I was a little kid, man. I want to watch that so bad.
I'm gonna go balls to the wall with the next character, so we'll see what happens.
Awesome, yeah, because that's like the energy I'm going for, especially with this finale. Is just like still action-packed stuff, but still very silly, like silly tone, but still, there's still dramatic stuff that happens as we saw towards the end, which was great. I definitely like that level of drama as well. Real good.
Sweet.
Pirates.
Robert Urich.
Yeah. All right, I'm gonna call it because I can't stop yawning. Thank you.
Right. Awesome.
Yeah, thank you very much.
See you guys.
Yeah, awesome. You're welcome. I'm happy everyone had fun. So yeah,
man.
We'll see you
next
time. All right, peace.
See you next time. Bye.
See y'all later.
See ya.